Warning. Broken simulation. Broken simulation. With Sam Tripoli.
Welcome to Johnny Woodard presents Broken Simulation, starring Johnny Woodard and the dude sitting in the chair till he finds a real co-host, Sam Tripoli. How are you, Johnny?
The dude.
The
The dude abides.
Johnny, here's the problem. I can't see myself in the camera,
my
and I like to
apologies,
play
Samuel.
off myself. Okay, Johnny? I have to see myself so if I know I'm rocking.
My apologies. My goodness.
Thank you, Johnny. How are you?
I'm all right.
I feel like I haven't seen you in hours.
Yeah, it was yesterday. I saw you yesterday.
No, I saw you today on Zoom.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, that doesn't really count.
Does that not really count?
No, I don't think so.
Okay,
I think
John.
you miss a lot. That's why I don't like Zoom podcasts. I think we should always try to be in person when we can.
I do too, but there's sometimes I just don't want to get in my car and drive.
Oh, dude, I feel the same way.
You know why,
I
Johnny? Because I'm tired of being molested by this weather. I'm getting diddled by LA weather. It is touching me in my special places over and over again. It's just touching me, and I'm asking it not to. Please stop. It makes me uncomfortable. And the weather doesn't care. Okay, it's just grabbing me and touching me. Make me do things I'm not mature enough to understand. That's what the weather is doing to me right now. I cannot take it. It is so bad.
It does, dude. It gets really hot
It
up in your
gets
house.
on you, dude. It gets
Not
on you.
where you are though. It gets really hot up on that hill. It's really hot, man.
It's well, I mean, I was in Texas. We'll get into that in a few. But Florida, they say it's really bad. But there's something about LA. It's like it wasn't this humid before, and now it is, and it is on you, bro. And the weirdest thing, everybody, Johnny is located on the west side, and I'm gonna tell you something. There's no better place to live in LA than the west side. It is everybody's shiny, everybody's good looking.
I'm in like the worst part of the west side.
So
though.
you're in the
I'm
shady
like-
part of the
I'm
west
in like
side.
Palms. You know,
What is that,
like
six
Century
figures?
City.
6 figures? You gotta make six figures?
Oh yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's it's probably $1 million apartment if you sold it, but it's just west of the 10. You know, like Palms, Century City in that area.
Yeah,
and it's just close enough to the ocean to get a little of that breeze, so it doesn't get crazy hot. It was like 84, 85.
So when you said that, I just got out of my car and you said it was 84. It said 100 degrees.
That's crazy. And we're just it would be a 15-minute drive to get up there to where you are.
Isn't that crazy?
It
It's 16-degree difference just in like geography.
That's why I think San Francisco is good, because of their weather. I think their weather.
San Francisco is great.
That weather is like that.
San Francisco
breeze.
is.
I wish we had that here. The breeze and a little cloudy.
San Francisco is the most interesting city in the world.
In the world.
It's like.
What about Venice? It's like almost sinking. That's pretty interesting.
Is it? What do you mean it's almost sinking?
Venice?
Yeah.
With the water. The whole city's water.
You think it's? Oh, you mean in Italy?
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
I thought
I'm
you were talking about Venice
sorry.
Beach.
Sorry. Yeah. No. Total.
Yeah. That is, okay.
Yeah. That's
I
pretty
guess I
interesting.
shouldn't have said in the world. In California.
I'll give you that.
Can I say the most interesting city in the Bay Area?
Yeah. I don't know, man. Oakland's pretty weird.
Oakland is weird. That is a great point. It is like the tale of two different just vibes. I mean, everybody comes over and it's just like, and he's like, yeah, it's just in Oakland. It's like Mad Max over there. And then you go to San Francisco, and San Francisco it is and has been a gorgeous city. It's just, I hate to tell everybody, it's empty. Now, this is nothing against the people of San Francisco, because everybody I met there are wonderful people. Okay, they're wonderful. But man, dude, you can walk blocks on a Friday night in San Francisco and not see somebody. When was the last time you could say that in a major city?
That's so weird.
We were doing it the other night. We were just walking. We're like, where is everybody? And I've been playing this Cobb's Club forever. Like it's like a premier club.
So that's a place that there used to be people
Dude,
at
back
night.
when I started doing it way back in the day, it was jumping.
That's so crazy.
And it's like, it's feudalism, bro. They have these ultra rich and everybody else is homeless. And then if you work in the city, you have to drive out to somewhere where you can afford to live. They've priced themselves out. They've ran out all the weirdos.
What's the future going to look? Imagine, project this out into the future. If they don't get a grip on this, it's just the cities are going to be these kind of ivory towers filled with rich people and then just homeless people and nothing else.
They're going to be Chinese ghost cities, dude. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. The only place that was jumping where I was the pier, which is a which is a tourist destination.
Tourist place, yeah.
Outside of that, I mean, walking forever. Nothing.
Do you like walking around cities? I like walking.
Dude, I love it, dude. I didn't do a lot of walking because I had so much work to do. And I was kind of like, I mean, so San Francisco's interesting, man. So we play this club, Cobb's, and Cobb's is literally one of the greatest comedy clubs in America. It's one of the best.
Why?
Well, it's just prestigious. I mean, to play Cobb's is a sign that you have arrived, in my humble opinion. Once you get booked to headline Cobb's, you're like, hey, dude, you've arrived. It's a big room, and they expect you to do certain numbers, and it's like San Francisco, like culturally, still known as one of the epicenters of counterculture and all that stuff.
For some reason, yeah.
Still, I mean, it's hard to shake that, right? And tinfoil hat always gets booked when there's a giant festival happening in San Francisco. And this is a story of my career, okay? Story of my career.
It's intentional, you think?
Well, I think it's intentional because I'll get into it. Okay. It's intentional because the first time we ever got booked, the first time we did a major tinfoil hat was in San Francisco. And they booked us against this, I think, Laugh Out Loud Festival or something that they were attempting to do in San Francisco. And we packed it out. And, dude, this is like, it has to be 4 or 5 years ago when we first started doing tinfoil hat in the road. And this was our first big gig. And we packed it out. And we were in San Francisco making fun of Obama, making fun of everything. And the crowd was going nuts. And I'm like, whoa. And that's when I knew we were on to something. I'm like, okay, this thing is super duper interesting and has legs. So here we are. Fast forward. This isn't the next time. We've done the Cobb's a couple times after that, but here we are again, and now it's the Outdoor Festival, which is, will you look this up? The Outdoor Land Festival.
Outside Lands.
Outside Lands, is that what it's called?
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, it's pretty famous.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like, I don't know, dude. When was the last time I was at a festival?
No, I mean, I know that's the name of it because it's kind of like Coachella. I mean, it's that on that level.
Yeah. So we got called in to bang with this.
Green Day, Weezer.
Green Day after he just said he didn't want to be American anymore, which is
Billy Joe Armstrong is such a pussy. I mean, just get over it.
Dude, have you ever seen his teeth? No. His teeth literally inspired a joke where I said his teeth look like cotton candy. I mean, his teeth look like candy corn.
He does have weird teeth.
Like, look at that one right there.
Oh, yeah.
So he has got them fixed.
Look yeah. Oh no. Yeah. That one's just like he had a crown on.
Yeah. His mouth looks haunted.
Oh, he's got like meth mouth, dude.
Yeah, meth mouth.
Both of those.
Meth mouth.
They used to, dude.
Johnny, look at that one down there. He's got space between his teeth. He's got a ton of work done on his teeth.
Look at this one, dude.
Now it's perfect. Now it's like, look at me. I brush every day and floss.
He waited a long time to do that, though.
Yeah, I mean, but that's also like how you know he's like, isn't he? Would you say he was punk rock?
Or dude, they were punk rock for sure. Yeah. I mean, Dookie. That was a great album.
Yeah, but
around that time, Nimrod. I loved Green Day for a while.
One of the first things Dana and I ever did together was fly to Vegas to watch Green Day.
Really?
20-something years ago.
Wow.
20-something years ago.
That's probably been like the Warning album, I think, would have been out around then. That was pretty good. That was their last album that I really liked.
Oh, no, it's American Idiot.
Oh, see that one? I was off.
So when did that come out?
They got super political then, American Idiot.
Yeah. When did that come out?
But Warning, I liked. American Idiot, 2004, 18 years ago.
Yep. That was one of the first big things we did. So we're up against it, Johnny. We're up against war.
Yeah.
Okay?
Tough, man.
So, Johnny, it's not even just that. Guess what else is going on in San Francisco this weekend?
It's San Francisco, so I'm going to guess it's something to do with gay dudes.
Folsom Street Festival. Look it up. Okay, look it up. Now, this is a very famous.
Folsom Street Fair? Is
Yeah,
that
that's
right?
what it is. Folsom Street Fair. And it's basically. Yeah.
I'm almost afraid to linger on this because of YouTube.
Yeah.
I mean, look, there's boobs right there.
Yeah.
Oh wait, there's women in this thing?
Yeah, it's
Is it a kink
lesbians
thing?
and men.
Oh, it's lesbians. Okay. I thought it was like a kinky thing.
No, it is basically a kink festival.
But if it's kink, like with women too, I'm in that. I'm in for that. But
so you're willing to work through that to get to that?
Yeah, you're right. I'm not even thinking. Look at this guy. He's just a horse.
Yeah.
Like, that guy's just, I identify as a horse.
Dude, when you have your nipples pierced like that, you know you're into weird things as a dude. There's no dude who's like super conservative that has his nipples pierced like that.
You got to be packing to be a horse. You know what I'm saying? Like to say
I'm a horse. You gotta have a big
at
one
least
to
9.
be a horse.
You got to be like a 9-inch.
That's my theory also, Johnny, on cult leaders. Cult leaders
They're
should
packing?
always have big dongs.
Interesting.
Right? You can't have a tiny dong and be like, worship me. I am the chosen one.
Now these guys not as big. They're rabbits. See.
Yeah, dude, that's such a
What a
crazy
weird.
outfit.
Like they're all wearing
look
leather.
at what they do, and their butts hanging out.
Look at this.
Like, it's so weird because.
Oh, she's getting. This is kink, dude. Yeah, look, she's got spankings.
Yeah.
I've talked to women who are into that and seen like pictures of them. Like that's what they like. They
Yeah.
like to be just.
But that's my whole
Destroyed,
problem
man.
right now with like Hollywood and stuff, or just like the Me Too shit. It's like that people want to act like women aren't into some of this weird shit.
Well, I think my theory is that it's
Oh,
kind
I
of
see.
like a pressure valve kind of thing where in public they've had to press it down so much that in private it's going up. Like
100%. And
I
this
really
is
believe
only
that.
going to get more, Johnny, as women become more powerful in society because our natural drives is men dominant, women submissive. Right? What?
Just looking at these dumb photos. All right.
So I'm up against this, too.
I can't
I'm
show
up
that
against
anymore.
this, Johnny. I'm up against this event.
You're up against it. I mean,
Will
you're up against it.
Will you go to my Instagram real quick? I want you to look up something. And this is the funniest thing ever, Johnny. Is Jimmy Dore got the city of San Francisco put up some rules for the Folsom Street Fair. Okay, go down. Basically, it's the rules of conducting yourself. And of course, San Francisco, which is beyond progressive, okay? And these progressive politics have basically ran out all the outlaws. Now, the Folsom Street Fair would tell you different, right?
Yeah.
But maybe people come in for that.
I have a feeling they do.
Like it's an event. Like for also, it's like you see that with like gay pride, right? Like they never do gay pride parades in the same day all over the country. They do them at different times of the year.
What do you mean by that?
So it becomes a tourist thing.
I guess they can travel around. Yeah. Who are the guys that just like their Grateful Dead is gay pride parades? You know, and they just go around. Everywhere?
Yeah, there are guys. That's what they do. They just drive around following the gay prides. Their job is to insert glory holes everywhere they can. Johnny, have you ever seen a glory hole?
Never. No.
But
Have
you know what they look like.
Yeah, it's a hole in the wall.
Johnny, I used to be a tweaker.
Yeah, but where were they? Like, where would they? Just in like really skeevy sort of bathrooms?
Yeah,
and
all over the place.
But like,
But I
not
never
at like a gas
understood-
station or something, right?
There are some.
Really?
Yeah. So
It's always dudes on the other side there, right? It's never a woman, it's pornography.
Dude, I believe that they are hot chicks on the other side of that hole every time. Okay, you just got to believe. You just got to believe.
That's so funny.
But here, go down.
It's never a woman though.
There it is. There's Jimmy Dore.
Yeah, I think
so. Jimmy Dore put this out, and I saw it, and I couldn't stop laughing. Okay, but look at the bottom. The Dory scene will switch to a mask mandatory pants.
You combine those words. You said the Dory scene. The Door Alley scene.
Okay, the Door
which is an
Alley
area,
scene
I guess, in San Francisco. Go ahead.
will switch to a mask mandatory, pants optional. Think about that, Johnny. And my closing bit, this is so funny because this bit This came out the day after Friday, and I was crushing in my Friday show, and I am with my closer, which is there are gay guys right now barebacking, wearing masks,
Oh, yeah, I
right?
forgot about that.
And the room got
funny.
quiet. And then this comes out, and this is literally a San Francisco policy, which is you have to wear masks, but you don't have to have pants on.
Not even bothering, dude.
Right? My joke is like it was meant to be so out there crazy. This is the clown world we live in, that now it's real. It's literally real. It's an official progressive city policy. How crazy is that? Now I have to
Wait. Look at last weekend in July. This is the rest of what he has on the screen. They hosted the Door Alley Fair, aka the Up Your Alley Fair, a smaller, gayer, more ass play friendly warm up to Folsom Street Fair. So there's a fair before the Folsom Street Fair that is gayer than that fair that
Let
we
me
just saw
ask you
those pictures
something,
of,
Johnny.
and it's more ass play friendly.
What is the straight version of this? Is it spring break?
Avians.
Spring break? Like, but AVN's for a very specific group, meaning adult performers. I'm talking like these are everyday gay guys.
Yeah, it's gotta be spring break.
It's the close thing is spring break, right?
Yeah, that's it.
Right.
Maybe like New Year's Eve.
Right,
But you
right.
don't really go to. Yeah, it's not really. It's gotta be spring break.
Yeah, that's it. That where there's so much. But you would never say that, right? Like
What?
you would never be like. And then there was a smaller spring break where it's mostly
Ass
it's-
play friendly?
Yeah, it's more ass play friendly for the ladies ever, right?
No.
Right?
No.
And this is hilarious because like San Francisco has one of literally the worst politicians in all of humanity. His name is Scott Wiener, right?
Great name. What is it about that name?
You couldn't be a bigger scumbag. And he basically was like during the COVID, he's like
What's his role?
he's like a senator. And he's passed some laws that are quite questionable that I don't want to get into on this show in particular because we're trying to stay away from a couple of these things, right? But
YouTube, yeah.
right? So he put out a tweet which said mandatory lockdowns now to stop the spread of this, right? In response to Jovid, right?
Yeah.
Jovid, okay? But during Punky Pox, right? During Punky Pox, right? He's like, people should be allowed to live their life and decide whether they want to take chances. Like, what? What?
It's a double standard, bro.
It's
the biggest double standard.
unbelievable, dude. Unbelievable. Unbelievable.
So you know by now that at Broken Simulation, we love Helix mattresses. They've been a sponsor for a long time, but I like to think that even if they weren't, Sam and I would both be sleeping on Helix mattresses, separate mattresses. My Helix mattress replaced what was supposed to be a really high-end premium mattress that ended up with a dent in the middle of it after about 2 years of sleeping. And since I changed to Helix, my sleep is much more comfortable. I don't wake up with shoulder pain because I like to sleep on my side. It's just a dream. I love it. Helix Sleep is a premium mattress brand that provides tailored mattresses based on your unique sleep preferences. The Helix lineup includes 14 unique mattresses, including a collection of luxury models, a mattress for big and tall sleepers, and even a mattress just made for kids. So how will you know which Helix mattress works best for you and your body? Take the Helix Sleep Quiz and find your perfect mattress in under 2 minutes. And your personalized mattress is shipped straight to your door free of charge. Helix knows there's no better way to test out a new mattress than by sleeping on it in your own home. That's why they offer a 100-night risk-free trial. Try out your new Helix mattress, see how your body adjusts, and if you decide it's not the best fit, you're welcome to return it for a full refund. Think about that, a slept-on mattress. They'll take it back. Everybody's unique and everyone sleeps differently. That's why Helix has several different mattress models to choose from, each designed for specific sleep positions and feel preferences. I took the Helix Sleep Quiz and I was matched to a mattress that felt medium and that offered support for someone who sleeps on their side. Again, I loved it. I woke up with no pain in my shoulder, which was something I had just become used to with that so-called premium mattress that I had before. Not only is the Helix Sleep mattress the best I've ever slept on, but the setup was super easy. Their mattresses are delivered in a box and straight to your door for free. Plus, Helix mattresses are American made and come with a 10 or 15-year warranty depending on the model. And remember, you get to try it out for 100 nights risk-free. If you don't love it, and I know you will, but if you don't, they will pick it up for you and give you a full refund. Don't want to take my word for it, and why would you? Helix has been awarded the #1 mattress by GQ and Wired magazine. It is even recommended by multiple leading chiropractors of sleep medicine as a go-to solution for improving your sleep. Helix is offering up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows for our listeners. Go to helixsleep.com/broken. Again, that's helixsleep.com/broken for up to $200 off all mattress orders and 2 free pillows. With Helix, better sleep starts now.
So we're up against everything. We're up against friendlier ass play and some hipster festival that's world renowned. Okay?
Do you get the feeling that the people that come to those shows are like starved for that kind of entertainment though? They're like underserved. You know?
Johnny, everywhere tinfoil hat comedy goes, every single conspiracy theorist shows up. I'm setting up meetups for the
That's
community,
a good idea. Yeah.
right? Come vibe with your tribe. And they just show up and we packed it up. Johnny, we hit our bonus in a couple shows. We hit our
crazy.
bonus.
How many shows was it? 4?
4.
Wow. That's a lot of shows too.
That's
like
a lot of
You said it's
shows,
a big
dude.
room, right?
Dude, it's 400.
Damn. That's impressive, man.
That was that, Johnny. A crazy weekend. Eddie Bravo's so funny. And it was a great weekend. And San Francisco's interesting, dude. It's an interesting town. And, you know, I have some very politically incorrect bits,
No.
right?
You do.
One of them involves something we've talked about on the show before about certain comics fans call me homophobic slurs. And I talk about it on stage.
Name rhymes with Robbie Ree.
Mobby B.
Yeah.
And people are like, I can't believe you said that. Why? It was said to me. Isn't that weird that my life has now gotten to the point that it's so real that you can't even talk about it on stage. And that's what upsets me. That's why I always tell you, every story we talk about on this show, it is 100% real. I would never make up an edgy, politically incorrect show just to be like, look how edgy I am. Everything has to be based in reality. That's why I can talk about it.
There is some of that out there, though. You can believe it.
Oh, I know there's comics out there that make it up, and I don't hate them for it. That's fine.
Well, it's just they view a podcast as kind of something a little different than we do, I think. They view it as a place to write material, even if, you know what I mean?
I view this as, I was telling Rogan this. I view this show as a way to workshop stuff.
But your idea of what's kosher for comedy is different. You know, some people I think are just okay with a little like storytelling. You know what I mean?
My wheelhouse, my toolbox does not include the ability to completely fabricate a story. It's not in my wheelhouse. It's not my toolbox. So I have to take a real story and make it interesting, which is kind of crank up certain
Hard
parts.
to do.
Right? But I can't make up stuff. I can't make a story up out of nowhere. It's just not my toolbox. Okay. So everything is real. So I feel I have the right to go up and talk about it if it really happened to me. And being called,
It's your truth.
it's my truth. And being called homophobic slurs over and over again by a certain group of people, I have the right to talk about it. And if you don't like it, then maybe you shouldn't be calling people these words. And that's why everyone's like, dude, you hear XG the other day? Dude, he got up on stage and he said that word like 14 times. I didn't say that many times. But
You
I
sound
did.
just like XG.
Yeah,
Wow.
I
It's
love
amazing.
it. I love it.
Such a good impression.
Yeah, it was great. It was great. So anyways, so Johnny, you know, do not ask me for name specifics or to look up people. I'm not going to tell you, but I have a funny story. So I did a show, and I get hit up in the DMs. Sometimes they hit me up. I don't really hit up anybody because I'm just old. I really am old. Like I was saying the other day, it's like I just want to sleep, bro. I just love sleeping. And so I think I got solicited for prostitution.
Really?
To pay me to have sex.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Yeah.
No kidding.
It was kind of like, what's going on here?
What was his name?
Oh, Johnny, that was really rude, bro.
What?
Don't you think I would have brought that up in the Folsom Friendly Ass Play Festival if it was a guy? It wasn't. It was a woman.
Oh, no kidding. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. And she was like, sent me a picture of mine. She's like, I got $4,000 I'm looking to spend. I'm like, what? I got $4,000 burning a hole in my pocket. I need someone to help me spend it.
Well, I know she's not white now. From
No,
the way you just said that.
Well,
Okay.
Johnny, I'm not a snitch. Am I snitching right now?
No, if you don't identify the person.
I'm never going to identify them. But
it's somebody that you know is a real person? Is like,
yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah. Wanting to throw long dollars at Tripoli.
Wait, so you got to tell me what she said now. Okay, so she, just a message?
I don't have the phone here, but she's basically
you remember
like, what
close enough.
up?
Like, what's up? Hey, how's it going? Is there any small talk? Or is it just like, I got
No,
$4,000?
dude, it came right off like, I want to suck the soul out of your dick, right? And I was like, okay, thank you.
Where'd the money come?
I don't know. And then out of nowhere, she's like, I got $4,000 burning a hole in my pocket. And I'm like, am I getting solicited for sex? That would be awesome. And I told, you know what? This person gets free tickets for the rest of their life.
Maybe this is, you remember we talked a little earlier how there was some money going to manifest. Maybe this.
Johnny,
maybe
I
this
didn't
is
even
it,
think about that. Maybe that's how I'm going to get my money back, by slinging dick.
Should we talk about that real quick?
Yeah. So, but is that crazy?
That's unreal.
That at almost 50, I got solicited. Someone's offering me
So you said
big
no.
bucks for, no, I would, dude, I would never, ever sell this dick for dollars.
So what, you're going to do it for free then?
I mean, if I was going to, I would do it for free, but I'm not. I'm going to bed. I'm sleeping. Right. I can't tell you how tired I get after I do 2 shows.
Does she listen to Broken Simulation?
I don't know. We'll soon find out.
Okay. Hope not.
I mean, dude, I think it's great. I think it's great.
Hey, yeah.
I've been watching a lot of prank videos because they're being shoved down my throat. Like if I see another Montreal Comedy Festival just for laughs, shitty prank video.
Wait, what do you mean? What do you mean doing? Why? What? Just comedians who are there? And
just the algorithm thinks I want to watch.
But what does that have to do with JFL? I don't understand.
Just for laugh, shitty prank videos.
No, but what does it have to do with the comedy festival? What does JFL have to do with the pranks?
Because there's all these JFL prank videos. They create all these prank videos.
But who's doing it? Comedians are pranking people?
Yeah, or it's just meant to be a funny, and they're awful pranks. The videos aren't funny, and
but they're during
I
the
hate
festival?
being negative. I just can't stand JFL. It drives me nuts.
Well, it's just such a gatekeeping kind of thing.
Well, it's not. It's a gatekeeping to nowhere. Johnny, did I ever tell you when I bombed at Montreal?
You told me you did, but I don't know.
On this show?
You told me you bombed. You've never actually said what happened. Though,
I went through it, like the whole story.
No. Was it New Faces? Did you New Faces? What did you do?
So I was in Vegas, right, for 5 years when I started comedy. And Vegas at the time was like, you might as well just be on Alcatraz when it comes to comedy. It was nothing. Nothing. Had no connection to the outside world. There were 3 comedy clubs there.
Stanhope had already come through there?
Stanhope had already left.
Okay. So that was the only real
Stanhope is such a good dude, man. I love him so much. He's such a great guy. And he's this theory I have about comedians who are super dark, dirty, or edgy on stage tend to be the nicest people off stage. They get their rage out on the stage.
That shit out, yeah.
And then they come off and they're just nice people. It's like this thing that Steve Randolph and I were talking about. Not all clean comics are assholes, but most asshole comics work clean. Right?
Makes sense.
Have I told you that before?
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Okay. So So I was a street kid in comedy. I never really did stand up in a comedy club before I left LA. I left Vegas for LA.
What do you mean? You what did like open mics in bars and that kind
I
of
was
thing?
mostly a bar comic because they wouldn't let me go up because I was too dirty. I've always been
Too
this
dirty?
guy. Yeah. Now you go, whoa, it's great. Back then, everybody wanted Seinfeld when I started. So I
year
started
did you start,
comedy
yeah?
in around 94.
Oh wow, okay.
I started comedy at 94. And what happened was that I basically created the Las Vegas comedy scene.
Yeah, and so wow, stand up had already
Already
left Vegas.
And when
at
I started, it
94.
was one open mic every other week. That's
One
all
open mic
in
every
all
other
of Vegas.
Wow. I can
Yeah.
see why you had to start it.
Yep. So
And did you already knew you wanted to do it by that point, right?
I always say this. I wanted to do stand-up comedy from the moment I knew I existed in the universe.
That's so crazy.
From the moment.
That's wild.
Yep. 100%. From the moment I knew, I didn't even know there was a name for it. And I wanted to do it. I just wanted to make people laugh. It is like literally the only thing I can do. And we'll get into the Rogan stuff, but someone's like, hey, dude, great job on Rogan. He's like, oh, dude, it's such a weird way comedy is. Dude, it's like such a weird thing. I go, it's the only thing I can do. And for a while, I couldn't even do it, right?
What do you mean you couldn't do it? 'Cause of
Dude, nothing was happening.
COVID
No, nothing was happening.
in your career?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was just going nowhere fast. So we started in Vegas. I'm doing bar gigs.
But at that point,
there was a time,
you wanted to be a pro comedian at that
Oh
point?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh yeah. Mark Ellis, one of the funniest comics out there, was like,
I like him, man.
he used to call me the greatest bar gig comic ever.
He started in Vegas?
No, I met him in LA. He was like, I think he worked the door, but
Him and Christian Harloff have a good movie podcast.
is Mark Ellis still doing that? But yeah, Christian
Yeah, I don't know if
Harloff
they
is
are.
so great, dude. He's such a good
Those
dude.
guys both seem really cool. Though.
They're both great guys. Great guys.
huge Star Wars nerds. That's
So
all I know.
this is how we used to do it. We used to do stand up. I had a show every night, everywhere. I was either going up or running my own show. I had my own stand up show on the Las Vegas Boulevard. I had an improv troupe at 3 different comedy.
You're doing improv a lot, huh?
Oh yeah, I was part of a group called The Mutiny.
Mutiny. That's
Yeah,
the name.
and dude, it's so crazy. The Mutiny ended only a couple years ago.
Really?
It kept going.
Oh, it's a troupe. It just kept going.
And then like one day it's like, hey, dude, you want to go watch the Mutiny? I go, what? They're like, yeah, the Mutiny's gone. I'm going, the Mutiny's
I
still
bet they
going.
don't even know the history of it. Like, did any of them know that you had started it?
Probably not.
No, that's crazy.
So crazy, bro.
Improv stinks today, by the way. It's just so bad.
Well, it's just
It's
it's just rich kids trying
Yeah,
not
it's
to
just
offend anybody and
terrible.
just
it's mostly actors too, and
yeah,
it's just terrible.
it's just
Yeah, well, anyway,
well, we'll get into
I don't
it.
wanna
Like
derail you.
the
yeah.
genre needs to be taken out of the studios and into the independent world and allowed to do what podcast is doing, which is
Also, these schools too aren't helping anybody.
yeah.
right
I
now,
mean,
so.
listen. I mean, I'm trying to be a positive human being, Johnny, and not talk smack about people. I wish everybody luck.
yeah. Okay.
So I
yeah.
started in Vegas. 3 guys came out of Vegas, right? Have I told you this before? The 3 comics.
I know. Stand Up came out of Vegas.
Stand up, Sam Tripoli, and drum roll, please,
Don't know.
Joe Coy.
Oh, no kidding.
Joe Coy's movie came out this week. Was made $5 million at the box office.
Really?
Congratulations to him, dude.
I don't know if that's good or bad based on how much he spent on it. I don't know.
15 mil.
Okay, so that's a third of it back the first week.
But I'm like, dude, I mean, me and this guy started in the same coffee shop,
it's crazy.
and he did a movie. It's so
That's like a real
crazy.
movie too. 15
That's
mil is like
a real
real
dude
movie,
on a
dude.
million billboards. Kudos to you, bro. You started at a coffee shop in Vegas, dude.
That billboard thing's so weird. You know, there's no other city that you have TV shows and movies on
well,
billboards.
if you go to Vegas, it's all casinos. It's
Yeah.
like whatever the
but
industry
where I'm from,
is.
it's all just fast food restaurants on
Yeah.
billboards. You know, that's
yeah.
it.
But it is where the worst thing, Johnny, is these fucking begging for awards. For
Oh,
your
yeah, for
consideration.
your consideration,
It drives
yeah.
me so nuts.
annoying.
Come on. It's like they just canceled Samantha Bee. Good for her. She had 7 years. Yay for you, Samantha Bee. Maybe you should go back to Canada and talk about Trudeau. That'd be really awesome if you could do that for everybody involved.
Yeah, that show was terrible. That was so bad, that show. Wait, so okay, so you
Does she ever look happy?
No.
I mean, I just want her to be happy.
she's annoying. She's
She just
annoying.
never looked happy on her show. You know what's so funny?
Complaining constantly.
So I'll get into Montreal, but I was doing a show with Johnny Betancourt, and we were talking about because Johnny can have a serious face on stage because I do that. I can have a very serious face on stage, right? I could be resting bitch face. I could be resting bitch face.
Yeah.
Okay, and it's just weird energy. I got a fake smile. That seemed like Samantha Bee. Did you ever see a clip of her smiling? Will you look
No,
up
I mean,
Samantha
I didn't
Bee
watch a
just
lot
on the
of her,
internet?
though. I don't
just
find her.
go to the internet and see if you can find Samantha Bee, and see if she has anything where she's smiling.
She just doesn't. She's smiling, but she doesn't look happy. It's mostly this kind of face right here. This just dead eyes. The world.
Yeah.
The world. Oh, who's this poor beaten down bastard?
Of that, he was really funny back when.
Are they together?
The Daily Show
oh
was
no, they just
important.
created a show together. No, she's.
I hadn't done any comedy shows, real comedy club work. And every level of comedy, Johnny, is its own kind of code you got to crack. From open mic to bringer shows to comedy clubs to touring headliner to theater. Each one is its own kind of thing you got to crack. Obviously, theater is the easiest of them all because people are paying a lot of money to go watch you who you're already established, right?
Well, once you get to that level, your goals are different too, though, right? Like what kind of laugh you're trying to get the right kind of laugh.
Well,
and that
Johnny,
kind of
this is super interesting because so I'm in a place right now where I'm entering my 50s, right? And I like to take older comics on the road with me because they're more into what I'm talking about, which is real life shit. And then you get into these younger comics, they're all doing pop comedy, right?
Say what you mean by that. Give me an example.
Pop comedy, I always say it's just like pop music where it's just meant to get there's no like substance to it, right? It's like guys do this, girls do this, like really basic stuff because at the beginning of your comedy career, all you want to do is kill as hard as you can to get credit.
So you're just talking about your dick, that kind
Yeah,
of thing?
that stuff. Why do girls with fat ass always walk funny, right? And you're like, there's no personal stuff to it. Everything is theoretical.
Observational stuff.
Right? It's observational. But as you get older, you kind of want to press yourself. And this is what I think is what Dave Chappelle's thing is right
Unless
now.
you're Jerry Seinfeld, yeah.
Dave Chappelle has been doing comedy for 30-something years, right? He doesn't need to do the simple, basic, add water, stir comedy.
Oh, yeah, he doesn't even need to. Like, his laughs per minute, if you look, they're not what you would expect from somebody at his level.
Right, because
he
he's
doesn't
done
need
it.
Yeah,
Because
he's
he
already
wants
done
to
it.
go deeper into it, right? So that's why I like to take older comics on the road because they're kind of doing that with me too. Whereas if you got this young guy just going up there doing just pop comedy, it just doesn't fit my vibe right now.
Sets a different expectation for the
Yes,
show, too.
yes. It's the same thing with crowd work comics, which is everything everybody's doing right now, which is just crowd work. It's like, write a joke. Give a piece of your soul. It's like, it's like this town is just full of the band on the Titanic playing as the ship is sinking. It's just like, talk about this crazy time we're in. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to get political, but that we are living in crazy time. Anyways, so I was a bar comic, bro, and I wasn't really working comedy clubs. So I come to LA, I get instantly picked up everywhere. It goes Laugh Factory first, Improv, then the Comedy Store.
Wait, so you were too dirty for the clubs in Vegas, but
Yes.
when you came to LA.
Yes.
Well, when you came out to LA, what was that a big deal for you, like deciding to come to LA?
So I had
How'd
a
that work?
bit called Stripper in a Wheelchair.
Yeah, I've heard about this.
And
yeah.
it was
I think
the-
there's on YouTube, I think, if you dig deep enough.
Yeah. And it was basically based off of seeing a hot chick in a wheelchair. And right around that time, when I was going to college, there was a real discussion about affirmative action.
Oh, okay.
And I go, are wheelchair people going to demand that they could strip too? And that's where the bit comes from.
It's really physical, right? Like
Yeah,
you do
it's a young
like
man's
a big
bit.
act out.
I
Right?
can't do it anymore. I'm too old, and I don't. If I go down, I might not.
Do you
come
want me to try to watch that right now? Do you want me to try to
If
find
you
it?
want to try to find it, I think it's on Comedy Central or something like that. Which, by the way, Johnny, technically, that was the last time I did one set on Comedy Central. One set. one real set. They had me do a bumper with Steve Byrne later on, but a real paid set. That was the.
Is it right here?
There I was. Can I get a mic stand real quick so I can show you exactly what I saw? There I was enjoying my $12 beer, watching the lovely ladies
Do I have
earn their
enough to
college
set up
tuition when I turned my head and I saw, I believe, is the first and only handicapped wheelchair stripper. This chick is in a thong in a wheelchair, and I made the mistake of making eye contact with it, which, JJ, you know, is the worst thing to do with a stripper. That's like a shark smelling blood. They're all over you, right? So next thing you know, she's wheeling her ass towards me, right? But she's trying to be, like, sexy about it, you know what I'm saying? She's doing, like, wheelies, two-handed rodeo riders, breaking out a little hydraulics.
This is on national television.
But the magic was in the pole work. You should have seen this chick work the pole. It was amazing. She was just like,
Look at Rich Moss laughing at it. Me and JJ had gone at it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, he took some shots at me.
On the show?
Yeah.
Oh, what?
He basically said that
I can't believe you
that
did.
I'm working I'll be working some chuckle hut with my act. And I go, dude, aren't you hosting there next week? And that was nice to him. That was nice to him. I was being nice because I grew up on
Everything's
Jimmy
expensive.
J.J.
Try some
Walker
of my data
Good Times. So I was mostly doing bars, and I moved to LA. I get picked up very quickly because of stripper in a wheelchair, right? The stripper in a wheelchair bit. I would get booked to close bringer shows.
I can't imagine that in like the Comedy Store or something, you know, just crushing late at night, just people.
So hand to God,
exploding.
Johnny, I'm doing a showcase for Mitzi. I do that bit. I basically get a standing O from the crowd in my showcase, and Mitzi's like, he's offensive.
Oh no.
Right? So Princess Corey, who was the booker at the time, was because everyone at the
I'm
comedy.
sorry, that's the person's name?
That was Freddie
Princess?
Soto's wife.
Okay, Princess is her.
Princess
Okay.
Corey is what she's goes by. And
Interesting.
she's like, listen, we're going to get you in. Mitzi thought you were offensive. We just got to work it. She goes, we're going to make you a brand new category. You're a showcase regular at the Comedy Store. That means you can showcase anytime you want. You just tell me when you want to showcase, and you get the showcase. And I was like,
How does that? That's so interesting.
yeah, that's what it was.
And what she?
That happened with me with the Laugh Factory.
And how
I didn't even
often-
have to showcase to be a regular. He goes, you're a regular. You're
But
a
how
regular.
did she? What? So how many more times did you have to showcase before you became
Then
a
it
paid
became.
regular?
So then the next time is when I showcased with Duncan. Got me later on. Duncan got me a showcase because I didn't want to burn the bridges
Yeah,
with her,
yeah, yeah.
and I didn't want to push it.
Yeah, just every day show
And I'm
up.
gonna be
and like,
honest
hey, I'm
with you, dude.
showcasing.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I had no clue really of what the comedy business was because I
Did you know about Mitzi though? Like this,
I
it
knew
was a
about
big
Mitzi,
deal?
but still, the Comedy Store wasn't like Mecca to me at that point. It's just a comedy club in LA that you wanted to be at.
Okay.
Same thing with all the other clubs. And
So you weren't like Ari, who was very like analytical, like trying to work his career and that thing. You weren't like.
I'm a wild one.
Okay.
Like
Yeah, I'm not surprised.
I'm a wild one. I just wanted. I want comedy for the sake of comedy, and I wanted to do me, and I didn't want anyone to tell me. And dude, I would bomb on stage. I would get standing O's or bomb. That was my life. Standing O's. Ask Brett Ernst. He'd be like, I've never seen a guy get more standing O's and booed off stage. And it happened.
Booed off stage,
I
yeah.
got booed off the stage all the time.
Same act.
Same act.
That's
So
funny.
the whole point of the story is I get picked up very quickly at the comedy clubs. So everyone's like, hey, dude, you should showcase for those
JFL guys.
for Just for Laughs. And I'm like, okay, that sounds cool.
Was it still those same dudes?
I didn't know what Just for Laughs was.
Really.
I had no clue what
so
it
you
was.
really weren't like career minded like that, huh?
Well, dude, I started in Vegas.
Yeah.
You had I was like the Japanese guy on the island that thought the war was still going on. Like, I had no clue what was going on. I had none. And I got
That's so
booked,
funny.
and I hit on something not that I own now, but I tapped in then. And I never,
What do you mean?
I had this thing inside me where I was really good in the moment, dude.
Oh, gotcha. Okay.
And I showcased, and I just crushed when everybody else was dying on stage. And they sent me to Montreal.
Where'd you showcase for that?
The Improv.
Interesting.
So I get sent to the Improv.
How'd you find out though that you got it?
Hey, you got it.
They called you.
Yeah.
The Just for Laughs people
Called
you.
my manager at the time,
manager.
Justin.
So how'd you get a manager back then when you came to LA?
Because, dude, the key is for these managers to find these young guys that could blow up.
So what? The guy just comes up to you after a set or
Justin,
something?
I was doing shows. He was a good guy. He ended up producing some shit with Nick Swartz, and I forget what Justin's last name is. Good dude. Good dude.
And he's like, hey, bro, you know.
Hey, man,
you
let me
seem
represent
fine.
you. The nicest guy.
Was that exciting? Were you excited about all that?
Yeah, I didn't know. I like, dude, again, it's like, yeah, I got a manager because everybody else wanted a manager.
Yeah.
And I was just,
I'm sure some people
mechanism-
hated you though because you didn't know like that any of that was like a
Johnny,
big deal.
here's the whole thing, right? There were people in the industry that hated me, and I didn't even know who they were.
Yeah, of course, because they're jealous. Yeah.
No, like industry people. They would go up to my managers at the time and be like, I'll work with
I
anyone
gotcha.
but Sam Tripoli. I never want to work. And I couldn't pick these guys out of police lineups if my life was
What
on
was
the
that
line.
about? Like your act or something? Is that?
Yeah, because like people don't realize this about comedy. Comedy goes in phases, bro. There's phases. And if you aren't part of that phase, Hollywood would get real cold.
But you were kind of. I mean, I would think you were the right phase for that time. That kind of like
I would
Spike
just
TV.
no,
like,
no. So what was happening, Johnny, was as I came here,
What year are we talking?
nerd comedy was coming in.
I got you.
Early 2000s. Nerd comedy was going to be
What year did you get Just for Laughs?
2000. So nerd comedy was coming in, and then female comedy was big for a while, and now it's what? Diversity.
Yeah.
It goes through these phases. So anyways,
You go up there.
so I go up there.
Do you do a set to like
Yeah.
a test set? You know, to
So
prepare
I
or
had
whatever?
my biggest closer was stripping in a wheelchair.
Of course, yeah. It's a killer.
And there's
You
actually
gotta
an
polish that off
article.
someday. You gotta polish that off someday.
No.
Come
So,
on, man.
no.
One more time.
Never.
What about for my birthday or
Do
something?
you know what
like-
I'm thinking about doing? Is a greatest hits album.
That's such a good idea, dude.
From
The problem is though, you gotta kill if it's a great. You know what I mean? It's gotta be like.
But
man,
Johnny,
like,
occasionally I'll bring my old bits out and they slam, bro.
they still work.
They
You gotta
slam.
do that for like my birthday or something, man. Come on.
What am I? A fucking jukebox,
Yeah,
bro?
absolutely, bro.
You think I'm a jukebox?
yeah.
bro.
Hey, somebody just offered you $4,000 for your dick. You're absolutely a
Which is
jukebox.
great.
That's awesome. yeah.
Still
I
to
wish
this day
that happened
makes
to
me feel like I still got
That's
it.
pretty cool.
Which I don't.
So what you did you do
So
like a little
I
set?
go up there, and Montreal is like, everyone's like, dude, it's the biggest thing. Oh my god, so great! I can't believe you're going. And I built it up in my head.
Do you remember anybody else who was there with you?
Yeah.
At the same time.
Orny Adams,
Oh no
who said
kidding.
he'll
Wow.
come on the show.
Yeah,
Orny
I
Ad-
hope he does. Yeah.
Tony Rock, this guy before me named Chicken.
What? Chicken?
Chicken's a super interesting story.
Just chicken.
His name was Chicken. He's
Not
from
Mike the
Florida.
Headless Chicken. You sure?
And he sadly offed himself after years later.
Oh,
but
I
he
take
was
the
supposed
Headless
to
thing
be.
back. My God.
Yeah, dude, it's super sad. But guess who else was going up there? Chelsea Handler before she got her movie.
No shit.
And she was bombing, dude.
I believe that.
Do you know how she got in the festivals? Dude, you don't know this story?
I mean, I know that she's supposedly like.
And I've seen the video. Chelsea Handler, this is how fucking smart she was. She would send people videos of her doing stand-up in her living room. 3 minutes in, it would cut to her getting fucked on her bed by some Von Damme looking dude from behind, just her doggy style getting crushed, and him pulling out going, on her back, her laughing, and then it cuts again to her doing stand-up with her big Jersey hair.
What?
Yeah, she sent that to every festival.
And what? So. Wait, now, is that meant to be like an art statement, or is it meant to appeal to guys with
Yeah.
like their hard dicks?
100%.
So it's like dudes are like, oh,
Yeah.
let's get her and
Yeah.
suck my dick.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. Yep.
Props to her.
Yep.
That's creative. I mean, a good idea.
Listen, dude, I have my issues with her, but
idea.
God bless her.
Yeah, that's great. It's brilliant.
I
really.
mean, dude, do whatever you got to do at that point, right?
I
But she was
working.
notorious for just bombing at comedy festivals. She would just bomb.
Well, I mean,
and
she
the other
got that
person
gig
was
by fucking
Janine
guys.
Garofalo, but
Really?
yeah. But you know what? I'm gonna tell you
I
something.
always thought she was pretty funny.
No, she is amazing. But you can't get Janine Garofalo isn't meant for 10 to 15-minute sets. Janine Garofalo is an hour experience.
Yeah, I got you. She's like Dennis Miller or something.
She's an hour experience.
Although
bro.
Dennis Miller's kind of lost it. I don't know if you've seen him lately. He's kind of lost it.
Well, dude, the truth of the matter is you're not meant to have it for your job is not to be the edgy guy forever.
Well, no, you know what I think with Dennis Miller though is that he's like, you're talking about different styles for different times. He is like whatever style he is, he's like he's at a 10 on the scale of 1 to 10 on that style.
Yeah.
So that means he worked really great at that period that fit him.
Yeah.
And then every other period, he just doesn't fit at all.
Yeah, and I get that, man. And it's
that doesn't
also
work
like
I used to like him a lot.
no, it's
I mean,
just-
it's like I'm just saying his comedy, like
and it's also, dude, it's like, even with my generation, which is now becoming the older generation, there's a lot of guys I know that, and I might be in this group that refuse to adapt to the new style, and I don't want to do it. And like,
yeah, but you're not like a Dennis Miller 10. You know what I mean? You can adapt. You're not like your style. You're not like at a 10 on that. You know what I mean?
yeah,
you're
get
adaptable.
That. But so anyway, but
you get
Janine
up there-
Garofalo is a killer.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And I would always hear stories of her having weird
still
sets.
is.
And then I got to see her live in Nashville.
Oh, really?
At Zany's. And I got it, dude. And like I watched it and it was incredibly smart.
Right? Yeah.
And it's just this stream of consciousness that you need to understand over a set. It's not something that can be done in 10 minutes.
That's how Richard Lewis is too. Have you ever heard Richard Lewis?
Stream of consciousness.
Yeah, very much like that. He would come out. You remember his old specials where it was like, he had the way he would style the names. I can't remember anyway. And he would come out with just yellow legal pads, like all taped together, just like reams and reams of it.
Yeah.
I used to love that guy.
Yeah.
It was just stream of consciousness. It was great.
Yeah. So
He was funny.
used
Used to rent his DVDs.
Well, you know what's so interesting, Johnny, is like because you're talking about that. It's like that is finding a crowd that used to be more the general crowd that would follow you on a journey, and now everything now is just so pop comedy. People have very short attention spans unless
people are
it's your
getting-
fan base.
Yeah.
Then they come along with you.
That's why podcasting is so big.
That's why it's so big, and shows like this are so big because people love stream of consciousness. So anyways, I go to this festival, right? And I can't believe this. I go there, they had me headlining. I've been only doing comedy 5 years.
Wait, so you have some sets before the actual big showcase?
No.
I didn't even know they had a headliner for the.
It's the new faces, and I'm
I didn't even
last,
know there was a
and
headliner.
I'm following Corey Holcomb.
Oh wow.
Who is a killer. And at that time, he seemed like a 20-year vet at that point. So I don't know how long
Were
he's
you
been
nervous?
doing. Yeah.
Did you do other sets at the festival like before to kind of
Nope.
get really? Because that's people who take it really seriously. Apparently, go up there and they'll like work it out
Nope.
before.
Nope. I didn't even know what I was doing.
You were nervous though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So you knew enough to be nervous at least, like because you're in this.
Yeah,
big,
but Johnny, the point,
How
the
many people
real
are in that
thing
theater?
should
That
be,
theater's
and
huge,
this
right?
is what I tell everybody when I find out they're going to Montreal. I go, listen to me. I need you to know this. This is a glorified road gig.
Yeah.
This is the easiest gig you're ever going to do. Canadian crowds are the easiest crowd. Nobody ever pulled me aside going, these are easy crowds. And at the time, I'm not going to get into this part, but so Corey Holcomb goes up and slams. And I go up there and I bomb.
Oh no.
I bomb.
It's a big theater too, right?
It's called the Soda Pop Theater.
It's big though, right?
And I bomb.
Hundreds,
I bomb.
like hundreds of people.
I bomb. And so I bomb in front of this woman named Ann from Fox. And for the next 2 years, I am consumed with getting in front of this woman named Ann.
How'd you know her name? How'd you
Because
know her?
I'd taken meetings. Because once you got
gotcha.
new faces, everyone brings you in.
Gotcha.
This is how it was before. I don't know what's going on now.
You're trying to get like a holding deal or something like
Yeah,
that.
and that was the big deal, a holding deal. So I am consumed with getting in front, and this gets into my alcoholism and me and these what's it called when you hold on to
a grudge.
a grudge? What's it called? It starts with an R. resentments.
Oh, okay.
So I have this resentment. I want to show her that act isn't me because I had never really done comedy clubs. I never done the road. I didn't know any of that stuff.
What would you have done differently in that room?
I wouldn't have gone.
You wouldn't have gone.
I wouldn't if I could go back in time, which I wouldn't now because
So you would have turned down new faces.
Dude, there was rumors I turned it down later on, and I never even remember them offering it to me that I turned down Montreal. And she's like, anyways, so
Wow.
I wouldn't have gone. I wasn't ready because I hadn't performed in front of comedy clubs. I've been doing bar gigs, and that's a different world. So I go up, I bomb in front of Ann for 2 years. I mean, and at this point, Johnny, I am hand to God at 2 years into LA at that time, done in Hollywood. And I'm not lying to you.
That's so rough. Dude.
I'm done in Hollywood at that point. Done. I'm not being brought in for anything. I'm not being done. Everyone is I become the cautious tale that they tell young comedians about you don't want to go too early. They always say, look at Sam Tripoli. He's a killer. And the industry doesn't want to work with him.
That's brutal.
Now you're dead, industry, and dude's crushing it. But the point is that I was dead in the water. Now at the time, this starts to spiral me into drugs and alcohol, right?
All right.
Because I'm done. I'm dead man walking.
Can you explain to me though why your act didn't work in that room? Like what?
Because I didn't understand opener, taking your time, slow. I didn't have my style then, which was gator roll, which is start simple with them, and then just have fun. Don't go right into your act.
Just start right out, just blasting away,
just
right?
blasting away.
And this is a crowd that you said you were headlining, right? So
Yeah.
This is a crowd that had been ringed out. Like
Yeah, I was last. Long stories.
Okay.
You know, I there's other parts of this that I don't want to get into because I just want to move on.
Okay.
From this, and I'll tell you some other time, but not right now.
Okay.
But I basically go up and I bomb in Montreal, and I'm dead in LA. Okay, and I'll get to the end. Fuck, I said her last name, but it's okay. Can you write the time down, beep that thing? Because I just don't want it out there. Because she's wonderful. This is nothing negative against her. So I come back to LA, Johnny. I am dead man walking. This is how bad it is, Johnny. I have to go back to my valet job.
Oh.
I am now valeting cars for people I was performing with.
That's humbling, I would say.
Humbling.
Yeah.
And the only person that has any love for me is Mitzi Shore. She's the only person in LA
Really?
that showed me any kindness for years.
That's
Not just a little while.
That's crazy.
For years.
She's probably got no great love for Montreal either, I would imagine. Just, because she's kind
Well,
of...
Johnny, you want to know the truth about Montreal? And this is why it's not a big deal like it used to be. Is because people came to realize, what works up there doesn't work in LA. You would see all these international acts come from Montreal and come down here and bomb. And I have nothing against the Montreal Comedy Festival, and I'll get into why I just don't understand what their thing with me is, because they would make me showcase and I would go up last. I go, why do I gotta go last? And this guy Eric's like, who's gonna follow you? And I go, then why am I showcasing? If you know I'm killing, right?
Yeah.
Why am I showcasing? So I am consumed with getting in front of. God dang it!
said
Beep
it
it
again.
again. Okay, so one day, and I'm just working, dude. I'm like, I'm gonna break this code. I'm gonna break this code. I'm gonna break this code. I'm gonna figure out how to be a great comic, and I'm just running and gunning. Maz Jabrani calls me. He's like, hey Sam, I just got asked to put together a showcase for Ann from Fox. I want to know, do you want to be in the showcase? And I go, oh my God, I'm going to get in front of Ann again. She's on my Kill Bill list of love of people I want to show. I want to show her that night in Montreal is not who I am, not the comic I am. I'm going to finally show her. 2 years consumed with getting in front of her. Consumed. Johnny, when I tell you I consume, is what I thought about every day.
Really? Every day, huh?
Every day.
Were these lists that you had written down?
No,
Actually written?
just in my head.
Just in your head. Okay.
Just carved in the back of my skull. Okay.
So crazy.
So it goes. The other guy from Tenacious D's there, Kyle, is that his
Kyle
name?
Gass, yeah.
So I go up, Johnny, and
funny.
I slam.
Really?
I annihilate the room.
Was Maz really good then too?
Maz was great. Maz was great from the start. There was never a time when Maz wasn't good.
That's cool.
There's times where people say that Sebastian wasn't good. I don't remember those days. Sebastian was always great to me. Theo Vaughn is one of the few people where I saw him first. I'm like, ooh, and then one day I saw him and I was like, oh my God, he's the best.
Well, yeah, he kind of had that difficulty of coming out of real world, having that celebrity. So he was kind of already had like.
But he clicked into him, and now he's one of the best comics to ever do it.
He's amazing.
So I slammed, dude. I have fulfilled this thing where I finally got in front of her and showed her, consumed with her, Johnny, consumed, right? So I told this on Mark Maron's podcast. I get off stage, and walks up to me. This day I've been dreaming about forever. I'm gonna show her that that's not the guy that she saw in Montreal. She walks up to me and she goes, "Man, great set." Oh! And then she goes, "Hey, have you ever been to Montreal before?" This is a true story. I go, "What?" She goes, "Have you ever been to the Montreal Comedy Festival?" I go, "You saw me? What?" She goes, I don't. Oh, you were up there? I don't remember that. I'm like,
so funny.
That is, and that's something changed in my life that day, where I realized that, dude, people, and it was
Nobody's
part of this.
thinking about you,
dude, and it's something I learned in recovery. Nobody's thinking of you. Everyone's white knuckling it, and if they're doing shit to you, it's probably a drive-by, and they're doing it to a lot of people. So, long story short, long story longer, okay? Something happened to me that day. So, not just that, but bombing in Montreal. I had to learn to survive outside of the industry. Mm-hmm. I had to figure out how to make money in comedy without the industry doing anything for me. I would get occasionally stuff. I'm one of like 2 or 3 people to get a standing O on Comedy Central's Premium Blend. I was never asked back to Comedy Central ever again to do stand-up.
Well, I wouldn't think of Comedy Central as a place that you would want to be.
No, but at
anyway.
the time, it was everything, right?
Yeah.
So, but the beauty of this, Johnny, is that I learned to survive in comedy and make money through alternative.
Mitch Hedberg bombed on Comedy Central. I mean, you know what I mean? It's like those crowds weren't great. Those shows weren't great.
Yeah, but dude, his half an hour blew him up to legendary status. To this day, he's still a legend. Yeah. But listen, so I have to learn to survive and learn how to make money outside the industry. That today is what I do. So I had to learn early, a long time ago, how to survive without the industry, and now I flourish.
It's almost like there's a plan.
Johnny, I know you think I'm talking crazy,
no,
but it's all part of this plan. Everything happens for a reason.
I don't feel that way at all.
So
I mean, I agree with you. Is what I'm saying. I totally feel. I see that all the time. If you're open to it, it happens. You know what I mean? That's one of those things that if you're kind of open minded about having a plan or kind of move through your life with intention. Yeah, you see those things everywhere.
So, Johnny, do you want me to finish the cuck, or do you want me to get to talk about Joe Rogan?
Oh yeah, come on. Well, that's not even a
okay.
Sorry, cucks.
Sorry, cucks.
Sam, I'll just say, Sam came to me, a week and a half ago now, maybe a week ago, a little more than a week ago, and was like, "Oh, but dude, I got booked on Rogan."
Yeah. So, which was a big deal.
Didn't want to tell anybody. We're just kind of keeping it on the wraps. Just
keeping it on the DL.
Found out on short notice. What, a week? Yeah. Not even a week's notice, right?
So he basically hits me up going, "Hey, you want to do my podcast?" And Johnny,
you should have been like, "Nah, not really."
That would have been so funny, bro. But
I'll pass.
Do you know it was like 8 years? 8 years.
Has it been 8 years?
I think it was about 7 or 8 years.
Where was he doing it the last time you did the show? Like, was he in
the
like 3 studios ago?
last time I did the Joe Rogan show, I think.
Was he still in? Was he in a studio yet, even, or was he in his house?
He might have been in his house.
That's
still
crazy.
I did some Ice House Chronicles with him, but
yeah, and he was on Punch Drunk once when I was there in the basement of the Comedy Store. And that's
Yeah.
that's probably the last time you podcasted with him. Probably
Yes.
was at the Punch Drunk.
Well, no.
in the basement of the Comedy
Hand
Store.
to God. The only other time was the End of the World podcast.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. That's right.
But that was a live thing, and
Which
Doug
that's still-
Stanhope brought me up.
that might have been before.
That was when
before
Trump
Punch Drunk,
got
actually. Yeah, I remember.
Trump got elected.
That's wild.
But that was it. Like, to actually be brought in as guest, it was 8 years. So it was a big deal, dude. I mean, because it is the Johnny Carson
Oh, it is. It totally is,
of
yeah.
this thing.
That's the only parallel.
And so I'm gonna tell everybody. I just told Johnny this. I've been trying to manifest this for a long time. I journal every day. I put down my goals, and one of my goals was to get back on the Joe Rogan Experience, which is a weird thing because, you know, I love Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan saved me when I had nothing going on. As I just told you, the industry had basically abandoned me.
How did
and
he do that?
by doing my live shows and not asking for a lot of money and allowing me to make the gate to pay my bills.
What a guy.
I mean, like, dude, I don't know where I'd be, and I may not even be here. And that's not even like me just trying to be overly dramatic or anything, but it's just the truth. I don't know where I would be if Rogan hadn't helped me out. So I could never really press him on it, right? Like, he's a big like, he stopped doing every outside booker's show at the Comedy Store except for mine. And he would tell everybody, I do Sam's show because Sam's my friend. And so I could never get mad at him for not having me on for so long. And it's just, you just kind of got to go with what the universe gives you, right? But I've been manifesting this
Do you
shit.
want to talk about why you think you weren't on the show for so long?
I don't know why. And to be honest with you, Johnny, every time I try to think about it, it would just spiral me into a depression.
Yeah.
And I would get sad.
But do you think it had something to do with your battle with drugs and alcohol?
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Big time.
Yeah.
Joe Rogan's very smart in how he operates.
Oh, yeah.
And he has very little space in his life for crazy people.
Yeah.
And I could easily have fallen under that, and I could understand that, you know?
Yeah, well, you're slowly becoming someone who has less and less space for crazy people too. You know what I mean?
Well,
Like,
I will always have a soft spot for the misfit toys because I was and still am a misfit toy. But Johnny, I am going to tell you that I think I'm done. This is going to be a weird statement. I think I'm done making up new podcasts. Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I think 7 is enough, and I will only go backwards and get rid of podcasts.
Good thing Broken Simulation got grandfathered in.
Yeah, because I think I'm done. So because you know, I like to work with people, but it just kind of goes crazy. But Joe has very little room for that, and so I never really got upset about that. But I would write down when I'm writing down my goals. Gonna do the Joe Rogan Experience. Gonna connect with Joe again. Gonna do the Joe Rogan Experience. Gonna connect with Joe again. And I would just keep writing it, fully believing and knowing it's gonna happen. And then, bam, it happened.
That's so wild.
And
How long ago had you started doing that? Been a while, right? A
been
couple months?
what?
More than a month?
Yeah, way longer.
Oh, really? Okay.
Since I started journaling, I would be writing down. I'm gonna do it again, and just
Which today, it's just like saying it's no different than somebody in the 80s or, the early 90s saying like, hey, I'm going to get Carson. So
Yep.
like, it's the exact same thing.
Yep, and I believe in that power, dude. And it's this thing I just talked about in Zero the other day, retro causality, which is don't think it's gonna happen, assume it's already happened. Done. I'm gonna crush. I crush Rogan. That's what it would be. I crush Rogan. So
I wish I'd known this when I was trying to date on dating apps and stuff. I'd been like, I fucked 5 chicks this week. God, damn.
I'm telling you,
missed
Johnny,
it.
if you journaled it, it would happen.
I missed it.
You can still do it, Johnny.
Yeah, I got a girlfriend now.
Johnny, I know. Well, yeah, we don't. Your fake girlfriend's a wonderful. person.
My girlfriend loves chicks now.
What?
No, I'm trying to make it happen.
Oh, I love that.
Okay.
I love that, Johnny. You and the Cuck family over here.
Well, no cucking.
Well, hold on. You're cool
Threesome.
with her bringing in stuff?
A woman.
Yeah. So anyways, Johnny,
Don't ruin my fantasy.
You can do whatever you want, Johnny. I'm your biggest fan. So I get the text, hey, let's do it on Tuesday. Done deal. Let's go. Let's go. I go home and I hand the phone to Dana. I go, look.
What'd she say?
She goes, oh my God.
That's cool.
It's happening. And then she was super happy for me.
That's cool, man.
You know?
That's so cool.
So we were celebrating together. And so he flies you out. He puts you up first class, brother.
No kidding.
He flies you out first class. He's a gentleman. You fly first class, get in, bang, limo driver or driver, nice big black sedan, takes you to a really nice hotel. Everything's taken care of. Super nice guy.
That's so rad, dude.
Yeah, right? Right?
How was his studio?
So he goes, hey, man, it's 1 o'clock. Cool. I goes, hey, dude, do you mind if we move back a half an hour? I'm like, what am I going to be like? No.
yeah.
I'm like, yeah.
Actually, dude, I got to get back to LA. Sorry.
Yeah. Dude, feel free to do whatever you want. So, I mean, I flew out that night. I get in the morning, hang out. And the biggest thing is mentally putting myself in a place where it's this is going to be me talking to my friend. And that's what what it really is.
Can't think of it as going on Carson.
It's the weirdest thing in the world because all full credit to that guy to keep that train on the tracks.
Oh, big
right?
time. Yeah.
And it is the biggest medium of human beings talking, in my humble opinion. Now, Johnny Carson got
He's the
bigger.
king of all media, yeah.
But for you have to go to listen to Rogan. You don't
it's
just
not
turn
like
on
Carson.
TV
Yeah.
where it's like 1 of 3 programs there. Yeah. You have to go and find him and that's why it's so powerful.
It requires intention, yeah.
And for him to keep that train on the tracks was amazing. So I also know that Joe loves my Instagram. Joe
really?
loves my clips with me and Callan. He loves the crazy stuff. So it's like, what is the blend going to be? So I went in there going, I'm not going to talk about anything. I'm not going to pre-plan anything. I'm just going to go with the flow.
Did you sleep the night before?
Like a baby.
Oh, really? Okay.
Like
you'd be nervous.
Nope.
That's good.
Like
That's a good sign.
Baby.
Right.
Like a baby, dude. And because I've been waiting for this.
Did you think of anything to talk about? Or you were just like going to completely go?
I mean, I got stuff in my pocket. I got a couple of tools on my tool belt. But it was... So my whole thing is I felt like the last time I was on there, I was too aggressive. Because it's like... And sometimes I feel I'm like that with Brian Callen on Conspiracy Social Club. Where I feel like I'm too quick to want to debate, but I love debating and I love having debates with friends as long as it's fun.
Yeah.
But I feel like sometimes I might be a little too excited and it could come off wrong. So I'm like, I'm just going to.
Well, Rogan's very much an alpha in that, like in the way he hosts the show too. He's very much like he takes the lead on the show.
Yeah, it's called the Joe Rogan Experience.
Yeah.
It's literally the experience of Joe Rogan. And guess what?
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
It works.
Oh, does it work? Yeah.
Right?
Hell yeah.
And like I've said this, even when I wasn't doing the show, I was like, dude, to have the mental fortitude to keep that show on the tracks, very few people can do it.
Well, you know, there's this whole sort of, I don't want to call it a culture, but there's this like I would say mainstream group that just look at him as unfunny and kind of like a Neanderthal, kind of an idiot. You know, it's like, oh, are you a Rogan listener? You know?
They're just.
I mean,
why don't you go kiss Rogan's ass? It's like the dumbest thing ever.
But who thinks Rogan ain't funny? There are people who think Rogan is not a good stand-up comedian.
Listen, there's very few people out there that there's not somebody out there that has. I don't think he's funny. I don't think he's funny.
But I mean, these are like mainstream, you know, like MSNBC types, and they look down on Rogan listeners.
He stole their milkshake, bro. Yeah. He drank their milkshake.
I just can't imagine hearing that guy.
Right?
I mean, I listened to the whole thing, dude. You know, and it was almost 4 hours.
Yeah, and so
it just goes by like nothing.
I get picked up by this guy that used to be a Navy SEAL.
Was he Rogan's like security or something?
He's just the driver for the thing, and he used to be a Navy SEAL. Drives me up. We get there. I get a little early there. young Jamie's there. And we start talking. He's full on red pilled, like
Oh,
deep
I heard
red
you talking
pill.
about this. Yeah,
and
a
I was
little
like, dude, come on the show. He's like, I'm not ready yet. I go, dude, we could just no, I'm not ready yet. I'll let you know when I'm ready.
Oh, really?
He's
So
coming.
you think he's gonna come on?
He's gonna come on, guns a blazing.
Oh, right. Okay.
Right.
He's got to get some stuff together.
So we sit there.
He's a cool guy then.
Yeah, he's a cool guy.
That's
Everybody's there, dude. You're on today's Johnny Carson. But the difference between Rogan and Johnny Carson is Johnny Carson had 1,000 employees to make that magic happen.
Yeah, yeah.
How many does Rogan have? 4, 5?
Is it still a tight? I mean, you were in there.
Yeah,
you know,
it's a small
It's
group.
still small. Yeah.
So I go to his studio. It's a giant
You said a hangar, right?
hangar. It's a giant warehouse.
I imagine it's like a palace on the inside.
Which is so crazy, Johnny, because the actual studio where the magic happens is barely bigger than this. I would say our studio is bigger
Really?
than Joe Rogan's
no
studio.
kidding. Okay, because I remember when he had that temporary studio, which I didn't realize was temporary for a long time. It seemed really small.
I saw that. He let me take. He goes, here's the old studio.
Oh, they still have that. I
Yeah.
thought that was in like the same space or something.
No.
And it's just set up the same
it's
stuff.
just a different side.
Just the whole
And
studio.
dude.
there.
He's got everything in there. Every
table, what?
workout, everything, anything he wants is in there.
So
It's
he
a
uses
place-
that like a man cave almost. Like,
It's the greatest man cave. The only thing that's even close to that is Tim Pool.
I heard you say that. Yeah.
But I think Rogan beats it. But Tim Pool's is pretty amazing too
You said this
because
is like 3 floors.
5
floors. Wow.
5-floor house,
No
and it's
kidding.
pretty amazing.
Do
And
people live there? Or
yeah,
is it just a works?
Yeah.
Tim Pools think people live there.
I think like a lot of the employees get to live there for free.
That's interesting.
God bless him, dude, crushing it. So
Good for him.
Rogan's whole thing is he gives me the tour. He's got everything: float tank,
Float tank. That's cool.
float tank.
You did that recently, right? I want you. To
I love
I'll
float
write that down. I
tanking.
want to talk to you about that. but
Okay.
we'll talk about it later.
He's got a place where he can shoot archery. Like he practices archery, shooting elk and shit. You know?
He loves that stuff, right?
Yeah,
Archery.
he's got he's got the every workout thing you can do. He's got some tumbling thing because his daughters do their thing. So
gosh.
and it's like
Didn't you
he's
say
got
they like
yoga.
practice there or something?
Yeah. They got a yoga studio. They got a
Yoga
sauna. They got everything there. Everything there.
That's amazing.
Amazing, right? So we go on the show and we do the show. Now, there's a couple. I wanted to address a couple things everybody's talking about why do you go harder on them? Like,
What? Oh, yeah, shut up.
have you heard all these people like talking about like why didn't you take him deeper? You don't know me if you think that's how I operate.
Right, yeah.
I've never been, even as dark and edgy as I am on stage, I always respect the house rules. If they say, hey man, don't talk about this okay. Or I don't go there.
Yeah, I mean,
That's how I am. Oh, hey man, you gotta work clean. Oh, I'm not coming to your club. And like a great example is the Comedy Magic Club. And I love the Comedy Magic Club. I love everybody that works there. But even my clean shit is too edgy for that room. So I just don't go there. And it's not out of not anger, it's out of love and respect for what they built there that I'm not gonna go
Is
there.
it like Hermosa Beach or something?
Yeah, it's a beautiful club. They're wonderful people. It's one of the best clubs out there. I'm not right for that club, and I'm not mad about it. Every year they send me a happy birthday.
Really?
They're the nicest.
I think of
people.
that as very much a 90s club, like Shandling, Seinfeld,
Yeah,
those kinds of people.
It's
yeah.
a great club. I'm just not the comic.
That's where
for it.
Carson liked to work a lot.
Yeah,
right?
dude. Jay Leno likes working out there.
Yeah, that's Jay Leno is like the
Daniel
perfect.
Tosh, Joe Rogan were the only ones that could go there and be dirty, and they were fine with it. And that's okay because those guys bring in a lot of people.
Yeah.
It's okay. It's okay.
Different people.
Right? So,
But yeah, you don't go on Rogan and like fuck Rogan up, you know?
why would you
yeah, I
do
mean,
that? And with,
nobody-
especially with all the shit he's been through, I would be so mortified if I caused any kind of chaos like that. If I talked about something that might get clipped up, and then all of a sudden they're like, Joe Rogan has blah 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 on, dude.
Talking about like shootings and stuff. I mean, what are we talking about?
Yeah, dude. It's like I just wanted to be there and have fun and have
You
him.
still got into a lot of stuff though. I mean,
Well,
let's-
yeah. So I kind of go with the flow, and that's what it is, and that's why
you
it's
kind of
fun.
Gator rolled Rogan, honestly. If I, you know, you kind of use your your stand-up strategy on the Joe Rogan Experience, because you started out, just kind of like jabbing, kind of.
Johnny, I just honestly felt that 8 years ago I went too hard, too much, and with it where it is right now, I just wanted to hang out.
Yeah, well, that's what it felt like. I'm very much. If you look at all the comments on the clips that I've seen on YouTube, we're like, oh, dude, this is what Rogan was like when it was, really, just dudes hanging out in the basement. I kind of miss this kind of vibe on Rogan.
Yeah, and well, it's just like, it's also like, it's huge. Anything he does gets chopped up and turned into something. So it's like, let's just have a fun conversation about fun conspiracies. What do you want me to do? Jump up, start choking him, yelling about satanic pedophiles? Is that what you want me to do?
It is funny, though, that you got like Sam Tripoli, and then the next show is going to be, like a biochemist from Stanford or something like that.
Yeah, it is interesting. And, there's a
What a
couple
show.
points where I couldn't, the words were just weren't coming to my head, and I felt like
It's hard to remember all these. There's so many.
4 hours, bro.
Yeah.
So it was great. We got into a lot of stuff, and I loved every topic. And I was so thankful, and I just can't thank Joe Rogan enough for letting me come on the show. And it was great.
Were you happy with it? I thought it was great.
I was happy with it. I mean, like, I just want to make him laugh and kind of give my essence there in a way that he's happy with.
Be yourself, right? Yeah.
Be myself, but also, hey, dude, it's like he's Batman. You got to kind of go with the flow, which is great. I mean, it's such a blessing to be on that show. It's such a blessing.
Do you remember when you first encountered him when you came out?
I think it was just at the Comedy Store, and I just watch him, and I remember being on stage, and somebody told me he was watching me, and he turned to them, and he goes, well, I know who I'm voting for, Best Young Comic. And he
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
So I've always gotten along with Rogan. We've always loved each other. And, I understand why it was such a long way to go, but everything happens for a reason. And if you guys think I'm going to go on there, like, that's not our relation. Maybe Eddie can do that because they've been BFFs for all that time, right? And that's just their relationship.
But even Eddie, he kind of swats Eddie away.
Johnny, it's really what this thing I'm into, which is, what is the game?
Uh-huh.
And you just got on, like, you and I have a relationship.
Rules, right?
This is our relationship that makes this show good. What is the game that you and I play to make this podcast loved?
What are the rules, kind of, right?
What is the law of our relationship? And that's all it is.
Yeah.
And, like, I would never want to go on anywhere and say stuff that gets anybody in trouble. I say it all on my podcast. Come hear it here. Come hear it on Tinfoil Hat. You want to hear me make fun of all these? This is why I do it. On there, I just want to make him look good and have fun. And that's why
Can we just address this, by the way, the Event 201 thing? People think that pee break was some kind of attempt to...
Now, here's what I'm going to tell you. It's like, it literally is like, dude, I got pee so bad. So we both went pissed. We came back. And I'm not going to go, hey, dude, let's get back to it.
Yeah, well, because people's ears, that was, it's a half a second later, but you guys probably spent 10 minutes taking a whiz.
No, it was, I'd say about 3-minute break. And we come back.
Just destroyed my point. You should have agreed with me.
No, because there's no point. I mean, there's no point in saying anything other than the truth. Because the truth of the matter is that we went in to the SPARS pandemic simulation, which to me goes even deeper than Event 01.
Yeah, which he didn't. That thing, there were a couple of things in that I wish you could have remembered.
Well, I mean, but
they had things like
Johnny,
but they had things written like the social media elements of it, like disinfo on social media.
Yes, all that stuff. But again, it's like, where does Joe want to go? Because Joe knows this show.
Yeah. No, you're so right. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you're right.
And I'm not Alex Jones, and I'm not Eddie Bravo.
It's amazing that he has Alex Jones on.
Right?
Poor Alex Jones, but just getting throttled.
Yeah, we'll get into that. So we'll get into that in 2 seconds. But so the show goes great. I mean, we talked about everything.
I thought it was wonderful. Yeah.
I was happy with it. That's not who I am. I'm coming. I'm showing respect. And I loved it. And I was thankful to be on the show. It was great.
Yeah, you're not going to go into his place and shit on the carpet.
Making Joe laugh on a show was like a vision shit.
Space Bukkake.
It was great. When he laughed really loud at my NASA joke, that was great. And I made Joe laugh 1,000 times.
He's got a good laugh, too.
But when he did on his show, it was like, okay, You know, when I talked about, loving, being into God after you've done rails of coke and raw dog strippers, and he laughed at that. Okay, we're in it. It's fun. I can make him laugh. The only other time I felt about that, and Joe and I are good friends, is when I did Howard Stern and made him laugh. That was a surreal moment when I'm like, oh my God, I just made Howard Stern
I can't imagine.
and the
on Stern.
entire studio laugh.
I almost got a job there one time. It was I was like really close.
So
to getting a
Joe
job,
is
honestly.
like the day before, he's like, okay, sorry, I stomped on your dreams. You
No, that's the whole
almost
story.
worked out at Howard.
That's the whole story.
Okay. I'm going to give you your
There's
moment.
no more to that story.
So Joe's like, hey, man, we want you to do a show with us. Come do our show. Joe?
Oh, that night. I
Yeah.
thought that was the day before.
No,
Okay.
Joe the night before, that night. That's why we ended the show when we did, because
Yeah,
we
I
had
heard
a
him
show
talking
in
about
2
that. Yeah.
hours.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So
I
we
didn't
had to-
realize you were doing that show.
Yeah. So they asked me to come in, and Johnny, it's like so
It's
into
what, him, Hinchcliffe, and what?
and the Asian kid that opens for him,
don't know
who
who that
I'm
is.
going to tell you is extremely funny.
He produces what? Kill Tony? or something
No,
like that?
I don't know what he does, but he's this kid out of New York, and he's a great writer. He's a great writer, and he's only 9 years in. But I'm going to tell you something, man. I got smoked that night.
Yeah, you told me this.
I got smoked. I make no illusions
Are
of
you
it.
in your own head about yourself though here,
No,
or do you think?
but
you
that's
did?
because
Because you do that a lot. Yeah.
No, but I got smoked. Man. And I watched those guys go up there. Tight comedy, bro. I'm telling you, man. This special that Joe Rogan's about to do. or
Yeah,
he
Rogan's
just did-
about to record a special.
Yeah, I think he
already
did over this
Well, I mean,
weekend.
so he's as tight as it gets.
No,
then. I
dude.
mean, he's like on it.
It's going to be spectacular.
Really.
And they lit a fire under my ass. I need to keep going harder. Keep doing Be Honest. Stop pulling punches. LA's made me soft
That's what
because
I'm
I
gonna
don't
ask
want to upset these, let's just say, tricky crowds. All right? I'm trying to speak positive.
you. What does
into
it make you want to do though? Just give it to them, and if they don't take it,
Well, Johnny,
forget
I
him or
really
what?
got to be in a place where I just don't care if they like me or not.
yeah, okay. So
And it's because,
That way.
listen to me, why am I caring if they like me or not when everyone says that LA comedy crowds suck? Why am I kowtowing to them? I have to
Yeah.
be my guy.
yeah,
and
do you want to please them? I mean, is that making you worse trying to please that
yes,
group?
and I learned that night.
Did it make you miss those
Now-
guys being around them?
Yeah, I miss them. I miss all them. Tony Hinchcliffe is crushing it. He crushed on stage.
And you
He-
liked Austin?
And you know what? You could tell that Tony was in a good place. I mean, he's flying on private jets,
I would
wearing
say.
suits to shit. I mean, he's doing great. And
How'd you like
still
Austin?
to this day, he goes, "You created me." He says to me all the time.
Really?
You created this.
How'd
I
that happen?
followed your lead.
What does that mean?
His style and all that stuff. Because I would talk to him about cutting out lines, trimming fat.
Oh, really?
Yeah, dude. I took him on his first road gig, dude.
I remember you saying that, but I didn't know that.
Yeah,
he,
dude.
He credited you that. That's
Yeah.
so cool. That's
Yeah, yeah.
What'd you think of the city, Austin?
I love the city of Austin. They're like, you got to move out, bro. You got to move out.
I could do that.
I'm not against it, but then I love the weather here. So
No income tax, bro.
anything's possible, bro.
No income tax.
Anything is
It's an extra
possible.
what, 13%, 16%, something like that.
It's one of the places that the mother of the children is on her list.
All right.
Something to
I can
think
see
about.
that. I can
So
see that.
Johnny, can we read some what time we at?
We're at 150 something.
Okay, so let's hear some calls. Let's hear some calls and read. You want to read comments or something?
No. Okay. So I'm
final
just looking
thing,
at this
guys.
Text from
Final
Eddie.
things. I just want to say something to you guys.
all right.
Will you guys who are like gatekeeper this and gatekeeper, you guys have zero clue. You have zero clue. If you saw where I lived, you would be like, you're not gatekeeping shit. I have no air conditioning.
Yeah.
Okay? I put my children up in a nice place to take care of them, to have stability, and I live in a box. I drive a Mitsubishi. Okay?
That's true. I
Right?
just saw it.
I'd like, dude, I'm not. What am I getting? I played a gay bar in Jacksonville. Like, what am I getting? What is going on that you think that like this connection stuff? It's just like a dude who's a dick joke comic who talks conspiracies. And the reason tinfoil hat works is I help the guest shine. That's why. Even when we're like, oh, I don't know if that's right. I amplify them. What are you guys talking about? You guys are like, oh, fucking controlled opposition. To what? To what? I literally have a PA agent in LA. Nothing else. I don't audition. I don't want to audition. I just want to tell jokes and hang out with my kids. I love my podcasts. That's it. Everything I do is self-made. What are you talking about? I mean, is it crazy? I mean, this guy had to go on Twitter and get in wars with people just to tell them that, like, dude, I'm a dick joke comic. What are we talking about?
Yeah.
It's so great. People are like taking upside down LA. I saw Cooper Kupp on TV giving an interview about his season last year with an upside down LA. I wear LA hats all the time. I'm like, that's interesting. I'll get an LA upside down hat. There you go. Guy's doing gematria on it and shit. Like, what does it mean? It means nothing. It's a hat.
If it's genuine, it's overthinking it by about 10 times. Yeah,
1,000 times. Yeah. It's a hat. And it makes me laugh when people are like, why is it upside? Like when I first wore it, people are like, what are you shitting on LA? I go, yeah, because LA sucks.
See that when people do that,
but LA has to suck, dude, because if it didn't suck, the population would be 1 billion people.
Yeah.
But go on. What were you going to say?
No, I mean, it's just when people do that, and I know they're wrong because I know what's going on, it makes me doubt everything. Do you get what I'm saying?
No, I get you.
It makes me doubt everything else, like the gematria and all that stuff. When they try to apply it to stuff, and I know they're wrong.
Yeah,
it makes me think, like, is this what I'm doing to the other things?
It's like all these YouTube shows that like use salacious headlines to get clicks, and then you watch them, and their take is all wrong.
Yeah. Well, but yeah, but this, I don't know if it's wrong. You know what I mean? Like with
what?
This. What I'm saying is, like, it makes me doubt myself. Like, am I wrong? Now, when I use that same kind of thinking on other symbols and other people, you know, I'm like, oh, look at Kanye. You know, is he trying to send out some Satan? Like that. Although this wasn't crazy, that Space Force hat.
Yeah, I mean, come on, look it up.
That's
Johnny,
the most impressive.
Look at Eminem's new album coming out and tell me that's not the creepiest thing you've ever seen. Look at it.
Oh, I got to do the Space Force hat. And it looked like what was it?
Space Force logo upside down. Look at that.
It's
so similar to it.
I mean, it's this. If you look at it, like there's.
Can you make it bigger?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hold on, I just gotta zoom in on.
Okay. Yeah, look at that, dude. Look at that. It's just
and
unbelievable.
There's some details you can't see in this.
Yeah.
There's like a line right there that's clearly the mouth.
Yeah.
Those are the eyes. That's the nose.
And those are the horns.
You got the horns right there.
Then the star right in the middle.
And then the star right in the middle. I mean, that is absolutely...
Bathman.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Whoever made that hat knew what they were doing with that.
100%.
Sure.
Anything else, Johnny?
Well, yeah, we got to do the... Okay, so we put out the call, last week, for people to tell us their shit in their pants stories.
Okay.
And we were flooded by calls. Now,
how many do you think we got?
Dozens.
You've got mail.
Hey, Johnny and Sam. It's Ash here from Australia. Long-time listener, first-time caller. Love your show.
Stop.
Hey,
stop,
you just put the
stop
call out.
Quick. How crazy is it? How crazy is it that we just got a call from Australia? Like we take it for granted.
I know.
It's mind-blowing to me.
Yeah.
That
Dude, my grandparents, my great-grandparents and my great-great-grandparents probably never heard the voice of somebody from Australia.
It's so crazy to me that people in Australia listen to us. It blows my mind. I will never take it for granted.
That's amazing. That's one of the good things about this world that we have. We live in.
I'm pants. So I'm 39 years old, and it was not quite a year ago. The wife and I took our two dogs to a local dog park, And anyway, I was really busting for a wee. So
Too loud.
we got there. My usual, I got to scout the place out. We did a lap around. I found a little quiet spot that I can go and have a wee. So I was wearing some shorts and I just squatted down and sort of had a wee out the bottom of my shorts. Didn't want to look too soft. And I was busting so much that as I was relieving myself, I did a big fart. And with that, I shat my pants.
Oh,
so
that is the
instantly, I said
worst.
to the wife, "Come on, we're going home." And she's like, "Well, we just got here. What's wrong?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I just pooped my pants." So yeah, it wasn't all that funny.
Oh, no, it is.
No, it is
She
funny, dude.
burst out laughing, and anyway, I was doing the whole, is there any brown out the back of my pants? And I was pulling my. She's like, "No, it's all good." And I'm pulling my shirt down, and I'm doing, you do that duck waddle, you just put your pants, you're doing that duck waddle.
Yeah,
So
you
we had to
clench your
walk back to
butt
the
cheeks.
car. Luckily, we had some spare towels. I put some towels on the seat,
Oh,
and she just could not stop us laughing. And anyway, the two dogs, they're like, "We just got here. What's going on?" Like, "We're going home already." And I was like, "Nah, that's it. We're going home. We're going home. That's it. We're going home."
She must
Nothing.
love
Like,
you.
no, don't ask. We're going home. So we just drove
Great
straight
story.
home, and I got her to unlock the front door, walked straight in, and I just jumped straight in the shower, clothes and all. And washed my underwear and my shorts,
Oh, he kept it.
and cleaned myself up,
That's it.
chucked all them into
I
the
always clean
washing
them.
machine, and
That was your question.
good to go.
Did you keep him?
But it was quite embarrassing, but pretty funny now looking back on it.
yeah, it is.
Anyway,
funny.
all the way from across the pond. Love you guys. All the best. Keep up.
Love you, buddy. Thank
Right
you
on.
for the call.
Great. Ashley.
Dude, by the way,
Shouts.
let's just say women are much better with understanding body fluids than men,
Oh, for sure.
right?
Oh, absolutely.
They're way better, mostly because of their monthlies.
Yeah, absolutely.
That they're not like when things go bad, they don't have a freak out.
You're right. That's my theory on why women are more nurses than men.
Yeah.
Is because nurses have and like PAs and stuff have to deal with a lot of bodily fluids regularly, and I think it's because of that. I really do.
When my brother came to see my daughters, we were driving and Ghost threw up all over herself. And I showed my brother, he freaked out, jumped in my car, going, "Oh, I'm going to go find parking." And it took him a half an hour to find parking. I'm like, "Where are you, dude?" He's like, "I'm trying to find parking." I'm like, "It's been a half an hour, bro."
You think he was
Oh,
lying?
he's freaking out.
Yeah. That's
He
funny.
wasn't into it.
My uncle, when I was a kid, I was probably like 15. My sister, I don't know. Well, no. I was probably like 8. My sister was probably like 3 or something. And she would get car sick, but we didn't really know it yet. And he just got this BMW, brand new BMW. He was so proud of it. He was in the Army. And the first night he got it, he wanted to take the family out in it, in a spin in his new BMW. My sister just yacked all over the back seat of his brand new car, dude. He cried.
I knew. I
cried.
Well, when I got my first Mitsubishi,
Oh, congrats, bro.
not this car, but the car before, the day I brought it home, Pollyanna was in the front seat, went nuts on a dog who was walking by and scratched all the front of like where the glove compartment and that front dash is, scratched it all up. Day one.
That's terrible. Oh. I wouldn't have put my dog. I can tell you that. I wouldn't have put.
Well, we needed to drive the car.
Cats destroy our place, and when I moved in, I made a rule that they can't come in the bedroom now because I was waking up with cat hairs in my nose and my ears. I couldn't take it anymore.
Johnny laying down the law on his lady.
You're damn right, brother.
Laying down the law.
You're damn right. You got to show them. You got to show them who's boss, or they'll walk all over you.
Oh, Brooke, it's some hotline. Johnny is masterpiece, and Sam, fucking love you. To the story, man, perfect timing. Last week I was at work doing my thing, and thought it was a little fart, but it was a little bit more. I was in denial, but plumbing feels wet, so went to the bathroom. And thankfully, I have a work environment. I have my own little office, and it's a small team of us there. Anyway, so I went to the bathroom and it was a mess. And I wish I remembered sniffer.com because I just threw those things away in embarrassment and heat of the moment.
Sniffer.com. What is that?
I don't know.
And
Is that where you
God,
sell
it's
your
the end of
gross
the month.
underwear?
quarterly reports are due, so
Oh, she
I
had to
really couldn't
power
afford to
through it.
just go home. But I did go home, and luckily I just got my car back out of the shop because I couldn't imagine getting someone's Uber still smelling like shit. So went home.
Dude, is
Thank
there
God for
anything
the
worse?
Hello Tushy was MVP of the day.
Oh,
and
she
washed
just
up, went back
showered
to
her
work,
beehole.
but
She bidet her
great timing. I
beehole.
wanted to get that off my chest. Yeah, that was pretty fresh. So
Thank you.
love you guys.
Thank
Later.
you.
Dude, this is real.
Yeah.
Sniffer to SNIFFFR.com. Sell used panties online. Trusted marketplace. Safe and anonymous. Like, let's see how much. First of all, do you have any of that in you that you want to buy someone's gross ass used panties?
Johnny, so when I did my stripper thing, I was taking my shirt and I was going through my legs, even though I had my pants on, because strippers would do that. They would take the thing and rub it between their legs, and guys would go crazy for it. I'm like, what are you doing?
Me either, dude.
But I've been talking to Xavier Guerrero about this. I have all these old tinfoil hat T-shirts that I wore that I don't want to wear anymore. What am I could go down and give them to the Salvation Army, or I could just give them away in mystery boxes.
Yeah, sure.
Clean them out and give them away.
I still think, we were talking about that. I still think that's the best advertising you could possibly do is just give them to every homeless person in LA.
Yeah.
Just like they're
no,
walking
Johnny,
billboard.
that's how they destroyed Von Dutch. Was homeless guys started wearing.
Yeah, but you're not a fashion brand. You're a podcast. They're walking billboards for you. I want to see how much underwear costs. Like, I wonder if it's like those websites where you kind of like put in the physical proportions of the chick. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, like I want 30. Well, I mean like bras.
Oh, you
this
gotta
is just
create an account.
panties.
Okay.
Yeah,
we'll check this out later.
We will.
We'll get back to that for sure.
Johnny, by next week you should have a profile so we can just hunt for the best.
I'll have
panties.
some in stock already.
Oh, you're gonna buy some?
No, hell no. I'm not. How much do you think they are though? Like $50? What?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gotta put my girlfriend to work, bro.
Yeah, dude, give me those used
Gotta
panties.
make some money.
Guys are such creeps.
We are. It's so gross, man.
I remember being young and wanting to sniff the girl who down the street that was a hot chick. I wanted to sniff her seat.
Well, you're into sniffing armpits still as a human grown man now.
I love it. I love it.
You said somebody turned you on to that. Who was it? Some guy told you?
Steve Randolph.
Oh, that fixed
He sniffs feet, though. I'm not into feet.
Ugh, it's disgusting.
Thank you for sharing.
What up,
thank you.
Jay Nice and the tranny hunter, Sam Tripoli.
Thank you.
Talking about shitting my pants, man. I used to work a job fucking delivering medical files around. Got stuck in traffic. Shit my pants. Went to my main manager. Said, I gotta go home. And hell no, I didn't keep those fucking clothes.
Damn.
Peace out, guys.
Oh, respect. Dude, there's nothing worse than shitting your pants early into your shift. Later on, you'd be like, hey, dude, I shit my pants. Can I check out a little early? But, dude, you're 5 minutes into a 6-7 hour shift and you just shit your pants? Nothing's worse. Johnny, do you have a system to make sure you don't shat yourself? Like when you got to fart, but you're like, oh, it could be a shit too? Is there?
Oh, I don't fart in that situation.
What do you do?
What do you mean? It just,
like, what do you do?
I reabsorb it into my body. I don't know. Just hold it. What, you have this thing where you can't
I'll squeak out a little just to get a feel.
Why though? The squeaking, that never works. If you're squeaking and it's wet, it's coming out.
Yeah, but I can usually tell. I've been doing this long enough.
Yeah, but you tell because something comes out that's wet, and you've already lost at that point.
No, dude, I've never had one of those. You know?
Yeah, you're tempting fate there, brother.
I am not gonna tempt.
You're gonna be on Rogan and shit in your pants.
Oh no, dude, I would cry. I would poop right before that. I would just go sit in the toilet just to blast it out.
Johnny, Sam, let me tell you about the last time I shit my pants.
It's so great.
It's great.
I was sitting at home. Thankfully, I was at home.
That's okay if you do it at home.
I called in sick that day from work because I wasn't feeling the greatest. But I had woken up, taken a shower, got completely dressed, was sitting at my desk playing a little video games.
Shout out. I just built my
talking to my wife on the phone. Next thing you know, I sneeze.
Oh, no.
Well, that sneeze caused a reaction in my bowels. which caused me to projectile shit into my pants. So what happened is I sneezed, shit came out, it shot up my back and down my leg.
God.
And I said, while I was talking to my wife and that happened, I said, I just shit my pants. I have to go. And literally, as I'm walking to my room to jump in the shower, take off my shitty clothes, it was dripping down my leg. Let me tell you, quite fantastic. So that was the last time
How long
I
ago
shit my
was
pants.
this?
And I did end up keeping the underwear and the pants. I just kind of soaked them first,
Respect, dude.
hosed them down, threw them in the wash.
I love hosing them down.
You guys have a fantastic day.
Shit yourself.
Oh, mercy.
Just watch all that poop.
It's amazing
come.
how many people shit their pants.
Hey,
I mean,
dude,
I
it
would never have
happens.
thought.
Hey, you boys wanted to hear about the last time that we shit our pants.
Stop real quick.
This
By
is
the
coming
way,
out of-
I just want to say the calls are diverse, and that's why I like.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
really connecting with a
Australia?
Australia.
This guy, I think, is Tennessee. Something
Yeah,
like that.
something going on.
Cleveland,
Yeah, he's gonna
Tennessee. So me and my wife and my little brother were going to TJ Maxx.
Well, now I will say, I feel like if I had to guess, like the store you're gonna shit your pants in, it's gonna be a TJ Maxx.
It's gonna be around there, or Ross Dress
Ross,
for Less.
yeah, Dress for Less, or TJ Maxx for sure.
For
Got the
sure.
car
Big lots,
and
man.
bent over to play
Who's
a little
TJ,
prank on the
by the
wife.
way?
Farted real hard
I like how
into
Max
the
has
car
2 X's.
as I was getting out.
Oh wait, so this guy was trying to prank his wife. He farted really hard in the car.
Nothing of it. Got in, walked over to the jewelry section to find some cheap fake ass gold. My wife came up behind me and said, "You need to go check your pants." And I said,
Oh
"What the
my
fuck you talking
God! You
about?"
didn't even
Thinking
know
she
you
was just
shit your
joking.
pants.
I started walking around some more. Started feeling something a little funny going down there. So then I head to the bathroom, get in there. What do you know? Shit my pants.
Dude, that's
Cleaned up. Luckily, didn't get in my underwear or nothing. Cleaned myself up. Went back out. Didn't say a fucking word to nobody. Didn't tell my wife till about 2 months later. I want to hear about the last time that Sam shit his pants.
Oh, okay.
I don't even remember last time I shit my pants.
Was so many times last week that you can't remember?
I there's times where I've like shatted, like it's not like a shit, but it's like
little diarrhea kind of situation.
like liquidy.
Oh,
like
that's gross.
Yeah.
Sharded, you mean?
Yeah, but then I just wash them.
Oh, that's shit in your pants. So do you remember it?
Is it? I think shitting is dropping shit in
See,
your
I have
pants.
one really famous time, and it was when I was a kid, and my dad was sitting in a leather recliner that we had sitting up, and I was so small I could sit on the head of it,
Yeah.
like by his head.
Yeah.
And I just like the guy said, projectile shat diarrhea, and it just went all over the recliner chair down,
Oh my
like on
God.
my dad. And I remember that vividly, like it
Oh
was
my
yesterday.
God. The other day I was farting so bad, and my
Wait, what,
daughter
around
walked
that
right
party?
into
Oh,
it.
okay. Oh.
And I go,
Did you feel bad?
I go, oh, Daddy ripped one. She goes, Daddy ripped one. I go, hey, tell Mommy what Daddy did. She looked at Martha, Daddy ripped one. And I go, boom. She goes, boom.
That's
It
so
was
funny.
the best.
Dude. That's so funny.
Hey, boys, just realized that I
You just
jumped
gave
off
her
the
a weird
phone
fetish,
super quick
brother.
after that shit story. Just wanted to let y'all know that I love the podcast. It's super good.
Oh, thanks, brother.
It's almost better than Tinfoil Hat.
Oh,
And
okay.
that's where I first found Sam, and that introduced me to his comedy. And he's probably one of my favorite comedians now, but
Thank
just wanted
you.
to let y'all know that y'all are
You're
doing a
very
good job
nice,
on that.
dude. What's his name?
I didn't say his name.
Didn't say what his name is
No, he
anywhere?
just said, "Hey boys, just realized I dropped off."
Yeah, but what because I think he was a call right before.
Yeah, no, it doesn't say his name.
Okay.
I mean, he was talking about shitting his pants. Would you want your name out there? Hey, it's Jimmy Floyd Sr. I shit my pants in a TJ Maxx. Would you want that out there? Hell no.
Jimmy Floyd Sr.
Hello, Johnny Woodard and Sam Tripoli. I'm going to make this as fast as I can. So, first off, I just want to say I'm not going to cuss due to the new rule. I'm going to do the best I can.
Thank you.
But I don't mean to suck your bleep, Sam. But I just want to say how much respect I have for you compared to all the other LA comedy store comics out there. You're always willing to stand up for others and like show your emotions.
That's
you know,
true.
like you cried with fucking Sorry, there I go in cuss. I'm so sorry. But you went and cried on Joey Diaz, and you cried with Duncan Trussell, and
cry
like
a lot, bro.
You show your emotions, man. I respect that. No one else is willing to do that. I've never heard any other comic cry on a podcast, and that gives me mad respect for you. So I just want you to know that. With that out of the way, I just want to tell you guys how you can ultimately break the podcast simulation.
Okay.
My absolute dream podcast is to get all of the real heroes together, the Sacred Four. The Sacred Four nerd dorks.
Oh, I can.
The round table of geniuses, if you will. And you know who that is? That's starring Johnny Woodard of Broken Simulation and Tinfoil Hat, along with Jamie Vernon of the JRE Experience, Ben Avery of the Tim Dillon Show.
I don't know that guy.
With the special guest of Lee Syed of the Church. You guys want to break the internet? Just take my advice. There you go. Lastly, I just want to give a quick conspiracy for y'all.
Oh, okay.
Look into O.J. Simpson's son being the real killer. It's just a conspiracy. I'm not saying it's real, but there's a guy on YouTube who breaks down the entire thing. And I think he'd be a great guest on Tinfoil. But basically, his son, Jason Simpson, right?
Let's do that.
Had a grudge. From what I understand, he had a grudge on Nicole Brown. And he was a chef, and he always carried around this set of knives. And the knife was apparently like the same set that would have like made the cuts and all that. And like, personally, I think it would explain like the entire Simpson DNA being on the scene. But hey, as Eddie Bravo would say, something to look into.
I'm with you, bro.
Wait, do you think he intentionally got Eddie's catchphrase wrong? Look into it, not something to look into. Like he's...
Hey, dude, that was a great call.
No, that was a great call.
Now we're
no.
Nazi grammar.
No.
Grammar Nazis.
You didn't even get grammar Nazi. You said Nazi
I gave
grammar.
that to you, Johnny.
Yeah, okay.
All right.
Sure. Okay,
Final
last
call.
one.
And thank you, dude.
That was
Johnny Woodard and Sam trips on every name he tries to pronounce.
That's
What's
timely.
going on?
That's timely.
This is some guy who shit his pants one time.
Oh, there you
calling
go,
in.
buddy.
To tell the story. Leaving my local Costco right now, and it reminded me that I shit my pants at
That's
this
another
Costco
place I
one
can
time.
imagine shitting.
Where?
Costco.
Taking a pee, and a fart came along that wasn't quite a fart. Earlier that day, I ate a whole box of Entenmann donuts.
Oh, that'll do it.
Bit me in the ass.
Literally.
Took about 17,000 wipes to clean up.
The worst,
and of
dude.
course, I got rid of the.
You're wiping all over your cheeks too, bro.
Shout out to the Swarm. Shout out to the Broken. Anyone who shit their pants had a warm brewing in their stomach and a broken asshole. All right.
That's great. Well, what's your rule on if you really shit yourself like that, or anytime you shit? Well, you got to wipe to like nothing, right? Spotless.
I mean, dude, if it's really bad, I'm showering.
You got to, yeah.
I'm showering. If my asshole and butt looks like just a chocolate donut,
it takes water to do.
I'm gonna go shower. Why even waste the toilet paper?
You ever had it where it was so, like the stream was so powerful that it splashed up the shit water onto your ass
All the time?
Yeah.
All the time. Yeah. I drop bombs, bro. I drop
you
hard
go hard,
bombs.
huh?
I drop bombs. I take shits.
All right, respect, man. You want to do the news? Last week, and I'm not going to show the video because it's
I don't want to talk about the story.
No?
No, because it's super sad. And it's just sad because the woman was suicidal.
Okay, we're not talking about.
It just makes me sad.
But how does this? She's got 13 prior wrecks. How does she still have a license?
Oh, I didn't know that. Go down, dude.
That's what I'm talking. Okay, so there's this big crash,
and that's her right there.
Yeah,
and nothing happened to her.
She broke her arm and like hurt her ankle or something like that. So there was this huge crash in Windsor Hills. About this
bad.
Woman. They said she was going 90 miles an hour. There's video of it if you want to see it. There's nothing graphic about it, but just knowing that people died. 5 people died, including a pregnant mother and a baby. And this woman just blasts through this busy neighborhood, probably like 40-mile-an-hour zone, going 90 miles an hour, blasts through an intersection. Her car just explodes on impact. I mean, it looked like, people
How'd she
joke,
live?
It looked like Back to the Future because all you saw was just a trail of
like
fire.
She went back in time.
Yeah. She just didn't quite get there in time.
It
and
doesn't look like anything happened to her.
She's been charged with, I think, manslaughter or maybe murder. Hold on, let me see. And here's the headline for this. Mercedes driver involved in 13 prior wrecks before the Windsor Hills crash that killed 5, DA says. So this woman was in 13 wrecks, dude, before she had this crazy crash. How does she still have a license?
With murder.
The nurse accused of killing 5 people last week when her Mercedes plowed into traffic at the busy Windsor Hills intersection has been involved in 13 previous crashes, according to LA prosecutors.
Oh, my God.
Authorities revealed new details about Thursday's crash. The woman here, called Nicole Lorraine Linton, was a traveling nurse, which is a good-paying gig, renting a room in Los Angeles while working her job. And she just blew through this intersection, dude. But how does somebody like that have... here we go. What you were saying, documented profound mental health issues. If you're going to kill yourself, though, you got to do it in a way that doesn't, you're killing other people by doing that. Jump off a building. My God.
There's so much pain involved in this.
I know. It's such a bummer.
It's like,
but how do she have a license? That woman should not have a license.
Yeah,
they want to make it so you can't get a gun if you've ever had,
I agree,
like
John.
a bad
At
week.
some point when you punched all your punches on your crash card, you don't get to drive.
What is that
anymore.
number? Like 10, 5? It's something like that.
Like crashes.
Like proper wrecks. Yeah, she said 13 wrecks.
I don't even know how many I've had, but whatever I've had plus 5.
Okay. That's so funny. So did you see this story? This is one of my favorite stories from last week. A prominent scientist posted an image of a distant star that he said was taken by the Webb telescope, but it was actually a slice of chorizo. Yeah. Now, how much of actual NASA photos do you think are actually? This is what Eddie Bravo's been talking about forever.
They're all bullshit.
Tonight, a prominent French scientist is apologizing after tweeting a photo he claimed was the image of a distant star taken by the James Webb Space Telescope.
Like sun,
How
Thousands of people
you?
viewed the image, but it turns out it was actually a close-up photo of a slice of chorizo sausage.
Dude, and if you go back and look at the comments, they're all like, "Oh, look at the detail! This telescope's amazing!
Yeah,
oh my God!"
they're just. This is my whole thing about these like nerds. They're all atheists, right? But then they have complete faith in science, right? And they just buy a hook, line, and sinker. When you should be like, these people who do this have a history of doctoring pictures, using, computer, generated graphics and stuff like that. It's just this is par for the course. That's why, to me, it's like, yeah, of course it is, right? This is what they do every time. Like, Dana has some friend of that, is like, oh, this guy, takes pictures of the stars, and it's these beautiful pictures, and he sent me I got sent a picture from him, and it was like a cluster of stars that looked like a skull. And I'm like, are you trying to tell me you just found that picture in space? Come on. It looked just like a skull. And it's like, anyone buying this?
No.
It's so ridiculous. I don't know what space is. I don't know anything about it.
I want us to get a telescope because we've
I
had
want
a
one so badly.
listener. I can hook you up with this listener. He's been messaging me, and he's got a pretty nice telescope. And where is he?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'll ask. But
how are we gonna get it?
He sent me some of the images from it, and the moon is amazing in that you could see all the little ridges and stuff
on the moon and shit.
Yeah, dude.
How about Saturn? Can you see the rings?
Yeah, you can see the ring. We had the guy on that told us that. Yeah, you can see plenty of pictures of just amateur photos of the rings of Saturn. Yeah.
All right.
You don't think the rings of Saturn are real, do you?
I don't know what they are.
Okay. So did you see this?
I want to see it for myself.
Yeah, I get
That's my whole thing.
Yeah, I'm with
Once
that
we see it for myself, I'll settle.
Did you, I think we kind of missed it a month ago. Did you see this ad that Gavin Newsom put out in Florida?
Oh,
did you see this?
No, so it went out in Florida?
Yeah, he put out an ad to the people of Florida about a month ago saying that, let me just, hold on.
He's such an idiot. He wants to run so bad.
That's what I'm getting
That's
at.
my favorite part about him. that whole thing where he got recalled, he's just trying to act like it didn't happen, and he's just moving forward like a psychopath.
He's crazy.
And like everybody just is like signing off on his bullshit. They're just like, yeah, man, I don't know.
It's Independence Day. So let's talk about what's going on in America.
California's governor with a pointed message.
I urge all of you living in Florida to join the fight.
And Gavin Newsom makes no illusion who he's fighting.
Freedom, it's under attack in your state. Republican
Has the
leaders
nerve to talk about
they're
freedom.
banning
Like,
books,
imagine
making it
that,
harder to vote.
dude.
A California governor running an ad in Florida?
Join us in California, but we still believe in freedom.
My question is, what's the point?
What is he talking about? What is he talking about?
It's just this whole thing where you just say things and you're just trying to fool stupid people. Like Gavin Newsom's whole thing is just talking in theory so that stupid people just buy it. Like, I believe in freedom, while all my actions are none of that. But the dumb people with all the money in California will vote with their heart because a guy who they think is incredibly good looking, to me, looks like a psychopath. They'll just, and you just have these, it's just dumb, rich liberals fall for his lies.
What about freedom of speech?
You're just.
What about freedom to own a handgun?
How about freedom, to not get a vaccination, a Jacksination? Can we beat that Jacksination? To get a Jacksination if you don't want it. How about that? It's just like, dude, there's nobody that thinks that Gavin Newsom is good for anything except for San Francisco and LA, and unfortunately, those two big parts of the state.
It's where all the people live, yeah. So, well, the more recent bit of this is that this political action committee did kind of a
His PSA from California's Gavin Newsom, the governor, trying to persuade Floridians to move to California for more freedom.
This is just
Independence Day. So let's talk about what's going on.
He's so dreamy.
America. Freedom is under attack in your state. Dictator Ron DeSantis incredibly lets you walk around without masks.
That's preposterous.
That tyrant allows your kids to go to school during the pandemic.
Probably doesn't like CRT either.
Or 2 or 4 or who the hell knows. I urge you living in Florida to join the fight. Or join us in California, where we'll take the money you earn and give it to people who don't work. Visit San Francisco.
Don't forget the homeless encampments and all the heroin needles.
Where you can walk through human feces. If you're lucky, you might step on a syringe. Check out Los Angeles, where gas is so expensive, your kids only need to skip a meal or 2 or 10 to afford it. California, where freedom means lockdowns.
I mean, that's funny. He really opened himself up for that, though. I can't imagine what
Dude,
they were
he's
thinking.
tone deaf. What about Hillary Clinton? Can you go on my Twitter?
Surrounded by yes men.
And just see what Hillary Clinton, and she's probably not even tweeting it. It's somebody else.
Oh, I don't believe she tweets it. I mean, no.
Go down.
She's
Let's
so
see.
remote from that. Is it?
Oh, here it is.
Oh, wait, is this real?
Yeah.
She tweeted this?
Yeah, it's from her.
Oh, dude, I had no idea that. I saw this. I had no idea that was. Okay, so this is Hillary Clinton. Every but her emails she's selling these?
Yeah.
So she's promoting something called Onward Together, which was established to support leaders, particularly young leaders, kicking off projects and founding new organizations. And they're selling hats and shirts that say, but her emails. Like, Hillary Clinton, she's great. But her
everything
emails.
didn't come out that she was just lying. She is so tone deaf.
That's insane.
To the perception of her.
Also, she hasn't looked like that in about 30 years.
Yeah, that's a 30-year-old picture. Okay, if she was on a dating app, you'd be like, you don't even look like this anymore.
Was that your daughter?
Yeah, and it's just so dumb. And there's still people who believe in her. Like, what's it gonna take?
Who? What if it's Biden and Hillary running against each other in the primary? Can you imagine?
Yeah,
just a rerun.
They're an idiot. And guess who else is gonna throw their hat in? Gavin Newsom, who got recalled, is still thinking he's got a chance for the presidency.
So gross. I saw Chris Cuomo this week on Mar, and boy, is he apologetic. I mean, they're not owning that at all. That shit with his brother. It was a big sob story. So,
Dude,
you sent me this. This is one of the best things I've ever seen in my entire whole life. So it's a guy doing commentary on a video, and it's basically cops versus feds. Is what
I'm going to show you a video that is probably going to make chicks pregnant. So there's a crazy video of the ATF going to a house, and the ATF is like, hey, you know, you bought
like
some
Ryan
guns.
Long,
We
but
need to
sounds
see
like
if
Howard
you still
Stern.
have
It's
them
really
because of straw purchase. A complete violation of your Second Amendment, your Fourth Amendment, and just, you know, basic common sense and humanity. Here's where the ATF agents, they go to one dude's house, and the dude goes, oh yeah, I'm gonna go get it. Hold on a second. Closes the door, calls the cops. He goes, there's somebody out here pretending to be a cop who wants to see my guns.
It's actually a woman, by the way. It was this woman. She was home alone with her 2 kids. And this ATF agent, not in any uniform or anything, shows up banging on her door like, I need to come in, because he was investigating what might have been a straw purchase. Like, you know, they were worried that, which I don't know why they would care, but that she had bought the gun for her boyfriend to use. You know, it was a fake purchase, basically.
This confrontation right here.
Hey, turn around. Let me see your hands. Turn around. Let me see your hands.
Rolling up on this ATF.
Okay,
agent.
let me see your hands. I need to see some ID. Get on the ground. Get on the ground now. Get on the ground.
What's your deal?
Get on the ground now.
The ATF agent's holding his hands out,
917-110-3.
wide.
I'm a federal agent.
Get on the ground so I can find out who you are.
It ain't happening.
This is how you get shot.
I got my ID.
Do not reach for your waist. Keep your hands up.
Dude, why would I have an Olay?
Get your hands up.
Get on
the ground.
These cops are so on edge, man.
Now.
Face down. You guys are making a big mistake.
You are the one making a mistake.
And then he finally sees it. I get on the ground. I'm a federal agent. If that got you off, have a cigarette. Get ready for round 2 because it gets way better.
Wait a second. Do not resist.
I'm not resisting.
You're acting like a moron.
Wait a second.
Wait a second. Wait a second. No, don't do this. Wait a second. I got a medical condition. Get my license out of my pocket.
Yeah,
We're getting
you
you secured
fuck.
first. Please, wait.
Bully, the bully getting bullied.
They don't like
Wait, I'm not. Stop resisting. Would you please get my ID out of my left pocket? Stop resisting. You. My wife's pregnant. Please.
My wife's pregnant. Where did that come from?
Sir, please. Joe, get your taser out.
Get
Get your taser out, Joe. No, don't do that. Don't make me. Ow, don't do that. Okay. Get him cuffed. Get him cuffed.
Don't
Tasing his
taser,
ass.
bro.
Yeah.
I'm a federal agent. Oh, fuck you, Patriots that win. Somebody show me Nancy Pelosi's floppy tits. Quick. Medical emergency.
Slow must flow.
I watched the. I went and found the whole video too. It's I encourage you, if you have the time, to go watch the whole thing. There's this video of this guy who like grades police interactions on like how well they did, you know, interacting with the public. And I think the cops got an F on this, and then the ATF guy got like a D or something. I mean, they both.
The ATF guy gets a negative F. Minus, F minus.
Yeah. I mean, this guy's kind of in favor of law enforcement. Is doing the grading. He's just saying by the book. I just want to show you these images. This is just AI, dude. Have you seen like AI now can generate like art and songs and stuff?
It can
well,
suck
they
my
had AI generate movie posters, and I just want you to look at these weird ass movie posters, dude. That AI generated. They're so creepy. Like, look at this Star Trek.
And they're not good.
Well, no, but they're disturbing though. Like, look at that weird The Human Adventures just begin.
And look at the ghost. Like, what is the ghost got?
It's like a man in a sheet kind of ghost.
And what is Star Trek, the motion picture?
It's
what
like
is that?
Spock with angel wings, but who's not Spock. He looks like Satan kind of.
Yeah, it's so weird.
It's
And
kinda-
everyone's like,
here's
isn't
Back
it
to the
awesome?
Future.
And then look at his face.
Oh, it's not awesome. It's just bizarre.
It is bizarre.
It's Back to the Future with some weird clock, Beetlejuice, and it's a giant roach drinking like coffee.
And they're always like, someday AI will write stand-up comedy. No, it won't. Okay.
Oh, I think comedy will be the last thing.
Okay, and so on the
That's funny.
Titanic,
It's just like
a guy's
two
just
people-
hanging out with a chipmunk. Is that he's about
in the
to make
middle
out?
of the ocean, though.
Yeah, he's hanging out with a chipmunk in the middle of the ocean.
Batman is a bat.
Yeah.
With
Here's
weird.
what you're starting to learn, because Johnny, I don't know if you know this, but we're pretty shadow banned on YouTube. Yeah. Okay, and this is why, because AI doesn't have sarcasm, doesn't understand,
right.
takes everything literal, right? I mean, look at Big. Look at Big. Go up to
It's
Big.
just a big robot.
It's just a big robot. Everything is literal. So there's no such thing as, sarcasm or any of that stuff.
That's so weird, dude. Spider-Man. Oh, that's so creepy. It's just a guy with a spider head.
Yeah, and like this is literally open mic art right here. This is open mic bad art.
You know they have this thing called outsider art, and they'll have these art shows of people who like live in mental asylums and prisons and stuff. And some of it's good, but some of it's just dudes like writing in their own shit and stuff like that.
Yeah,
and they have these outsider art fairs and stuff.
Yeah.
This is just from the Department of Scumbaggery, USA Today. 11-year-old boy scammed after man uses counterfeit $100 bill at his lemonade stand.
Yeah.
Like, how bad is the economy that you're scamming?
Yeah, you gotta be a real piece of shit.
Police in Washington are asking the public to help identify a man they say used a counterfeit $100 bill to buy a drink from a child's lemonade stand, leaving the boy profitless. The Everett Police Department reported that over the summer, an 11-year-old boy named Jeremy spent his allowance money to set up a lemonade stand outside his home in Puget Sound. Good thing he didn't do it in L.A. They would tax him or they'd put him in jail for running an illegal.
Or they would rob him. Did you see that video where the guy walked up and robbed the lemonade stand?
Oh, no.
Yeah, these two guys ran up with a gun, just took his money and left.
A kid?
Yeah.
In L.A.?
Yeah. You remember you said the Muslims have it right? You remember that?
Oh, I don't know. I was talking about that, though. Oh, I don't know.
About, like, they put to death anybody who robs children?
Yeah, I didn't know that was. I don't think I read the story. I just saw the headline. It was like kid gets robbed or something.
Yeah,
I have no memory of that. Anyway, as he worked in the sun, trying to earn a little extra spending money, he was approached by the suspect who offered him a $100 bill for a drink, but asked for exact change in return. The boy, police said, used his allowance money to give the man $85 and change. When the man left, police said the boy went to a local gas station where he learned that the $100 bill was fake, and he lost all of his allowance money.
Yeah.
That's just sad. That kid should start a GoFundMe. He'd have $1 million in a week.
Yeah. It's just crazy.
So Lake Mead,
Yes.
in California, it's drying up because of the drought. Have you heard about this?
Yes.
And now they found their fourth set of human remains in Lake Mead. They just, as it dries up, they just keep finding more and more bodies.
Dead bodies, dude, of all these old gangsters or people that were put out. Yeah.
How many places do you think that? I just feel like every time I drive by a body of water, there's bodies in there.
Oh,
every
for
time.
sure. How about the fact that they used Google Earth, found like a car that crashed in the lake?
Oh, I saw that one. Yeah.
And nobody knew it would crash there, and they could never
It was like an unsolved death that people, like a missing person from years and years ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was cool. And you could see it, too. Did you see the picture?
Yeah.
I'll pull that up. Hold on.
Yeah.
But yeah, more human skeletal remains were found Saturday at a beach on Lake Mead. The fourth set of remains found at the beach where water levels have dramatically receded in recent years. Park rangers responded, and the dive team came out, and they found skeletal remains. Lake Mead is the nation's largest reservoir. So,
I gotta go, Johnny.
Okay, let me pick two more, and then you can go. I'm just gonna read a headline. This doesn't count as one of my stories, though. According to The Verge, Spain has banned setting the AC below 80 degrees. In Spain, they've banned you setting your air conditioner below 80. This is what happens when you slowly get used to being in a place like California, that the government can suddenly just tell you anything.
Yep.
Now in Spain, 80 degrees or less will get you in trouble. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. Okay, so I got two things for you. One is just a photo, basically. Look at this. You see this, Sam?
Yeah.
Alligator with knife in head found swimming in Florida pond.
Yep.
Look at that, dude.
Yep.
Just a big ass knife, and that's how hard alligators are to kill.
Yeah. I posted something about this on social media, and I said this alligator had information that could lead to the arrest of Hillary Clinton.
And look at they euthanized it, dude. This thing is a survivor, and they had to put it down.
Why? Let it just fucking live its life.
Take the knife out. See what happens. Do a surgery. I don't know.
Johnny, I gotta go.
No, that's my last story. One more.
I gotta go.
No, hold on. You want this story. I promise you it's good.
This is the last one.
This is the
Johnny,
last story.
Absolute
last story. Absolute last story. You're going to get shit from the readers.
You're going to get
the
shit
listeners
from the readers. This is a 3-hour show.
It's not 3 hours.
How long is it?
It's 2 hours and 50 minutes.
Yeah, exactly.
Dude, we did 3:20 one time.
Yeah, that's
too long.
An hour too long.
That is too long. I'll give you that.
Nobody makes it to the end.
That's not true, actually. Not with this show.
The word at the end is bingo butt. Let us know if
Bingo
you know
butt.
what it is.
Yeah, come at Sam with bingo butt on Twitter, and if enough of you do it, maybe he will.
I'm going
he won't
to bed.
complain so
I'm
much.
supposed to do Krav Maga in 7 hours, Johnny.
Well, good. You'll get 6 hours
Bye.
of sleep. Okay, here's the headline from Fox News. I got it on my phone now. Los Angeles voters to decide if hotels will be forced to house the homeless despite safety concerns. Have you seen that they're doing this?
Dude, that drives me nuts because there's empty buildings everywhere. To make these hotels have to do it, you're going to destroy their business.
Destroy it. Nobody will want to stay there. Los Angeles voters will cast their ballot on a proposal that could force hotels to house the homeless.
Go fuck yourself, you progressive pieces of shit.
They started doing this down in Venice. They did this at some nice hotel down in Venice, dude. They packed it with homeless people. And they said it destroyed their business.
Yeah, destroyed it, man. Go find these empty houses and fill them up with homeless people. You greedy.
President of the Northeast LA Hotel Owners Association, Ray Patel, was on Fox and Friends, and he said, "This is not a solution. It's just a temporary fix." And during Project Room Key, a great example, they housed the unhoused in hotels, but the government never provided an end solution. They never provided transitional services to permanent housing and simply issued hotel vouchers, impacting our. So what they would do is give the homeless people vouchers, like, hey, you can stay, just go stay in a hotel, basically.
Yeah, it's ridiculous, man.
And it damaged
You're ruining
marketability. Can you imagine that?
Business.
Like you're trying to sell to tourists, and
Can you turn down the vouchers? Can you be like, no, go fuck yourself?
I don't think
want your
so.
voucher.
No, I don't think that's how it works.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
If
guys.
passed, the voucher program will require hotels to send information on their vacant rooms for the day by 2 p.m. daily.
No!
Every day they'd have to say, like,
dude,
hey,
what is this? What is this?
It's called the voucher program.
No, but what is the measure called? Measure 44259 or something like that? Does it say what the measure is? So we can vote this down?
It's just the LA voucher thing. I don't know.
They're going to destroy this business industry. They're going to destroy it. They're going to destroy it. And I hope these hotels push back. And I hope people push back against these ridiculous... There are so many empty houses in Los Angeles. There's so many empty places to put these people that you don't have to ruin somebody's business.
Yeah.
All right. Johnny, I hope you guys are... I hope everything's great. I had a great time doing this. I have to go to bed.
Tell us more of your shit stories next week. We love it. Call us.
Pick up your guitar. Sing me a song. This was Groover's paradise. Now the Groover is gone. Was a cool little city, but time marches on.